Let's go!
If it's Tuesday evening, it must be Virtual Reality Racing Club. Welcome along. And we are just past the halfway point of the World Endurance League running across June and July for this year. And Richard John Neal here with you. With, in the background, Ian Danaher, our clerk of the course, who is a regular VRRC clerk. I don't know if Ian's watching, but he will be watching back the incidents for sure. And broadcast director Steve Allen, who keeps up with all of the incidents on track, picks the right thing to watch, and he does that off his own pack. Then he has to listen to us and works really hard, but does a super job, does Steve. And we're looking forward to working with him this evening, and also looking forward to working with, once again, an old friend to VRRC, Lydia Walmsley. Lydia, thanks ever so much for joining us once again. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, welcome back, and a bit of Porsche. So we've, you know, like the first time you joined us, which was back in COVID, I think you were commentating with us on Minis, which was what you were in then, and kind of you've moved up with us now, and it's sports cars today. We haven't got any Porsches on track, but it's sports car racing, which you do now. So a nice synergy, really, in a way.
Absolutely, yes. I think it's very different driving style, isn't it? But yeah, I'm really excited to be watching tonight, and maybe I can pick up a few tips for my sports car driving. So yeah, looking forward to it, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. I really do appreciate you coming on, and thanks again to Jack James, who did the honours with us last week, who at Nurburgring, and he'd been racing out there. Lydia in the Porsche Sprint Challenge. We've got some Porsche news actually coming up a little bit later on, so please stay tuned to the end of the broadcast for that. In the meantime, we'll give you a quick rundown of who's where and where we are. Last week was it says double points there. It actually ended up being triple points, because otherwise, with 3 races, if you only got 2 race points, everyone ended up dropping round 4. So it became triple points, as will the Le Mans round, and there will be changes to the round 8 fixture. Pit stops will be mandatory, because we had drivers last week that worked out they could do the whole thing on 1 set of tyres and 1 tank of fuel. So there is a mandatory stop at the Le Mans round, and that will be triple points as well. But we are at Circuit of the Americas. I think it's the first time I've called an event on this configuration with VRRC. Well, first time I've called it anywhere, to be perfectly honest. And it leads us, as I said, into the second half of the campaign. We're at Fuji next week, then Bahrain, and then wrap up with the single race event at Le Mans, 21st of July. And then we are back in August. And again, we'll tell you more about that towards the end of the broadcast, or at the end of the broadcast. So if you want to fast forward, if you're watching on YouTube, you can do that. But I'm sure you won't want to miss the action in the meantime, because we have a good championship table headed by Jack Smith and Gabe Norse. Not a huge amount of points between the pair of them. You'll see there the red numbers are the drop scores. So we're starting now to get into the bit where the 2 drop scores aren't going to necessarily be as important as we go forward. And we should get more of a break, I think, away from the top drivers to the others in terms of the table. But it's Jack Smith and Gabe Norse, both of whom have had triple wins in the last 3 weeks. Jack Smith winning last week the single race. Kieran Haynes has been very ascendant recently, and loads of second places. I've got to say Kieran's due a win. Then it's Oliver Gibson in 4th, recovering last week from the previous Tuesday having the gremlins of some sort, the physical gremlins of some sort, and we didn't get a chance to catch up with him, but hopefully he's well. See, he's been on the timing server, he's okay. Andy Carroll next from Chris Blakey and Ollie Atkins. Lee Piercy in 8th. 9th is Scott Bugner, and 10th Andy Dorman. You'll notice I got a sprint on them because I overran last week and the race started before we did the preamble, or completed the preamble. Mason Turner 11th from Christian Gillian. Then Sam Gumbley, the front row of the grid this evening, should be 14th and 15th, because we reversed the top 15 of the championship for the grid for race 1. So it should be Jack Dickerson and Sam Walton on the front row of the grid. I couldn't see Jack in the testing time before, so we'll see whether he joins. Just outside that, missing out on pole, is Rich Hayden from Jacob Lander and Jack Angel. Paul Laramie 19th, and John Jones completing our top 20. Onto our third page. Zach Hancock's was climbing up the order last week as well. Let's hope he can do the same this evening. And he is ahead of Josh Brennan and Robert Shepherd. And we miss Kenny Press. He's there. He does all the graphics for us. You'll know that. We haven't seen Kenny so far. I hope he's well. Kenny, stick us a message through if you're okay and listening. We'd be great to see you. And the team championship for, well, you can enter as a solo driver, but essentially it's 2 driver teams. DK Power, Jack Smith and Ollie Gibson leading that one from one of many Swift Cooper teams. They're in P2 with a little bit of catching up to do. Then Team Carbug, Shake and Bake fourth in VRRC SRT. Automac, Swift Cooper Blue, Independent, Eden Garage Motorsport and Book Aqua in 10th. So plenty of virtual silverware to be contested. We are at Circuit of the Americas, which I don't think we've done with the VRRC since, if my records are correct, July 2024. I don't remember doing that, but let's have a look at the hot lap as Jack Smith will give us a run around the track. I hope you enjoyed the hot lap. The first bit reminds me of Knock Hill, although it's uphill. And Knock Hill anti-clockwise is downhill, isn't it? But the idea of going into fairly tight turn one, I think, could cause some interesting things to be happening. As we look at the front of our grid, and as I say, I think we do have a few drivers missing this evening, which is a shame. We've got 17. We've had 21 for, I think, pretty much all of the rounds over. 22 in race 2 at Imola, so we are a couple down, but some drivers obviously have to go away and work and do, mundane things like that. Can't always get back in time, and there might be software problems and other things that get in the way as well. But a decent turnout. We've got the key protagonists as well. We'll be looking to see whether the likes of Gabe Norse and Jack Smith can make sort of parity process through the field from 15th and 14th on the grid. We haven't had really that many straight races between the pair of them. It tends to be that one or other will get up and away through the grid fairly quickly. But again, we'll see as the first of our 30-minute races is about to get underway. Keep your eyes on the timing tower and also the starting sequence for I think our first anti-clockwise race of the campaign about to get underway, and it is Chris Blakey who is on pole position there. from, we've got Ollie Gibson there in P3, and away we go. So Chris Blakey. So we've got some big hitters at the front here, and I shouldn't use the term hitter on a partially reversed grid going down or up into turn one. We'll see whether that becomes prophetic. What you can see though is the fact that it's almost a blind turn. It reminds me a little bit, and I don't know whether Lydia's raced at Anglesey, but it reminds me of the run, that blind turn up and to the left of going up into the radar complex at Anglesey. We'll come back to Anglesey in a minute. But Lydia, a good start by Mason Turner, who's got away from Andy Carroll.
Yeah, we had a spinner at the beginning. I didn't quite catch who it was, but it seemed a fairly clean start, which is always nice, isn't it? And actually, it's quite a wide circuit, isn't it? I appreciate perhaps maybe not here, but the first corner is particularly wide, so I guess that helps with the lack of contact. But yeah, seems a really good start, and quite a confident start from our front runners there. So to be fair, that front pack has kind of broke away, but it's tight racing, isn't it?
It is. Gabe Norse is already up to 6. He's second in the championship, and Jack Smith 2 cars behind him. He's got Kieran Haynes between himself and Gabe at the moment. But Mason Turner, one of our youngsters from the Swift Cooper, should we call it an academy? I don't know whether we can call it an academy. I'm sure Luke Cooper, who is a hot shoe in Formula Ford 1600, won't mind us calling it an academy. But Luke looks after and encourages, mentors a lot of drivers to make their way up, as Andy Carroll now gets in front. So Andy Carroll's long overdue a win at the moment in the racing. I did start to dig out some old stats to see when people last won. So, for example, Lee Pearcey, who's a little way down the order at the moment, had 2 wins in the Formula Ford Championship at the start of the year. And Kieran Haynes had 2 wins in it as well. That's pretty much as far as they got in terms of drivers that haven't had a win for a wee bit. But Andy Carroll away from Mason Turner. Ollie Gibson in 3rd. Andy Dorman 4th from Gabe Norse. Chris Blakey, Jack Smith. So Gabe Norse already up to 5th. He's in the red and white car, just going through shot now, and has made really good progress. And Gabe here, when we left last week, I mentioned the thing about double points going back to going to triple points. Because Jack Smith won the race last week and got double points, it would have actually been one of his drop scores, which is a bit bizarre. So Rich Hayden, I think, did the right thing and decided to make it a triple point, so that everyone was in with the chance of scoring the normal amount of points they get on a 3-race programme. And as a result, it put Jack Smith back in the lead of the championship, as Jack has a massive sideways moment, I suspect as a result of contact. Did you see the beginning of that?
Yeah, he had a bit of a helping hand. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a side-by-side contact. But yeah, didn't see who he was battling with. But yeah, he wasn't alone on his spin, let's put it that way.
Well, he was in 8th place, and 8th is now Rich Hayden. So do we put early blame on Rich Hayden? Probably not. I'm guessing the other car that might have been involved has probably gone as well. I'm digging myself out of a pit there. Rich knows I'm only jesting anyway. I think it might have been, I've got a crash with Oliver Gibson and Mason Turner. I looked too late at the screen as Mason comes under pressure from Oliver Gibson. So Oliver, I think, might have backed out of the earlier contact and tees up the inside run as they go side by side here, and Oliver Gibson working hard. But here comes Gabe Norse in red, has a speculative look down the inside. So it is all very, very busy stuff at the moment. Mason Turner in his Aston, the sort of non-BMW flag bearer at the moment. And of course, Andy Carroll in his McLaren out front. So Andy would do well here to get away, certainly capable, I think, and he thinks of winning in the McLaren anyway. He's been the very best of the rest drivers, and contact again there with Mason Turner getting involved again. I didn't see what happened at the start of that, but oh dear, and Gabe Norse gets the clout there. That's another one of the, I think it was Kieran Haynes coming in the Swift Cooper team car and having a go at his teammate. But I tell you what, this means that Ian Danaher, the Clark, already, we're only 5 minutes into the race, Lydia, and he's got probably 5 minutes of footage to review on Thursday morning.
I think he's going to be a busy boy, isn't he? I mean, yeah, that was just an amalgamation of different incidents, wasn't it? All kind of together. I think there was one still in the barrier that had quite heavy damage. So whether that will continue or not, I don't know. But yeah, that was it was almost a mixture of issues that kind of came into one, wasn't it? And I think it's really shook the grid up, hasn't it? I think everyone's kind of out of position now in that middle pack.
Yeah, you're definitely right. We're looking at Paul Laramie in 10th place. So he's chasing Mason Turner, who was involved in that. Josh Brennan in 11th. We got some. It's nice to see some different drivers moving up into the top 15, and I kind of focus on that. The drivers making progress, because the aim is, of course, to get into the top 15 of the championship and then climb further up if you're further back down the order, so that you can get into the reverse grid section. And obviously, in race 1, what you're doing is looking to get into the top 15 to get into the reverse grid section for the start of the second race. And the drivers that are doing that at the moment, Jack Angel, who is up into 7th place, Zach Hancock, who is up into 9th. Now, what we don't know is who is involved in contact. So there's a danger when we pick a driver of the round, you know, maybe for breaking well into the top 15, that they might get involved in contact. I'm not by any stretch of imagination saying that Jack or Zach have done that, but we do need to be mindful of whatever has happened. Rich Hayden, though, is having a good race, and he's up to 5th and keeping tabs on Gabe Norse, who's not that far in front. There is Rich in the blue livery, Lydia, trying to catch up with the second place man in the championship. I think may go into the championship lead here, Gabe Norse, in 4th position, trying to hunt down on Kieran Haynes. So Kieran, I think, as a result of that contact, managed to get in front of him, but he's not that far ahead at the moment. So I reckon that 3rd place could be the next battle that we see start to develop in front of Rich, who is there. Rich, of course, a multi-race winner. His last race win was in the Legends Cars Championship with us. The Scottish
nice.
Legends, official Scottish Legends Cars Championship as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, only one win though, but he did get a win.
Win's a win.
A win's a win, exactly. But yeah, Gabe Norse is having a go. Now, Gabe is a very well-known and very well-liked sim racer. Won the official Janetta Junior Sim Championship, which I wasn't anything to do with, before people assume, oh yeah, if it's Janetta, it was Richard. I've not done any Janetta racing commentary for 2 or 3 seasons now, which is a pity. And they had their G-Fest, didn't they, at Croft at the weekend, which I didn't even realise was on. So thanks for the invite, guys.
It's a long way to go, Richard. You don't want to go up to Croft.
Actually, I haven't even looked to see who won the results. But anyway, here we come. It's Gabe Norse now makes it through very cleanly on the inside of Kieran Haynes. 2 really good young drivers. Kieran was messaging, I hope you won't mind me saying, was pinging me last week after the racing and said that, you know, like so many youngsters now, he wants to get on the ladder. And we were talking about single seaters for Kieran, who's the car behind the red and white one. Mm-hmm. You know, would love to get on the ladder for single seaters, but you know, I think like many people in the real world, just frightened with the amount of money you've got to spend.
Yeah, my gosh, it's crazy, isn't it? But at least with sim racing, when you damage it, it doesn't cost too much. You just press the reset button. I know, obviously, your time and your effort, but you've not got a huge repair bill, have you? So, yeah, it's hard, I think, at the moment, particularly. But I think I've got my maps up. I don't know, Richard, if you do, and I appreciate the viewers can't see this, but the front 2, Carroll and Gibson, have gone. Like, they have such a big gap from P2 to P3. It is huge already so early on in the race. And actually, when I looked at the timing before I came on here, Andy Carroll had done the most testing out of anybody. So he'd done over 100 laps of testing. So probably no surprise that he's way out the front.
That's a good shout, actually. I'd forgotten that we do have the TSL tracker, isn't it? It's that kind of thing. And you're right, they've got a really big gap, very nearly 4 seconds as they go down into turn 1. And Steve, our director, has rightly picked up on the fact that Jack Smith is recovering and chasing Zach Hancock. So this is good for us because we get to see Jack recovering, and also we get to see Zach Hancock. So he doesn't always get that much coverage, but as Jack Smith looks around the outside, up ahead of them is Jack Angel. So good to see Jack in the mix as well. And this is damage limitation for Jack Smith here. Championship lead, as we saw on the graphic, is just 4 points from Jack Norse at the moment. So Jack Norse, I always say Jack Norse, there's a footballer called Jack. Apologies, Gabriel Norse. It doesn't help, I was doing some football work today and saw that name, but anyway, there we go. 4 points, so Gabe Norse will get back into the lead of the championship on this race, but then of course we'll have to do all the hard work again in race 2, because if he wins, he'll have to start down near the back of the top 15. So As Zach Hancock's is passed by Jack Smith. Jack Angel now being passed by the other Jack Smith through on the inside. Oh, and gets a little tap on the way back.
That was a bit naughty, wasn't it, Richard? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I remember your dad doing stuff like that in super stocks, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a bumper and it was contact. Contact was allowed. But yeah, it's a shame really, because it was a nice move from Jack Smith. And I was just about to say he is on a little bit of a charge, but he is about to go back past him anyway. So he has got the space back, which is probably a good thing, because it was a bit of a push to pass, that wasn't it? That was touring car style, that.
Yeah, I think Jack Angel, to be fair to it, looked like he gave him plenty of space. So I think he realised that that was the case. So, you know, in that event, as we haven't lost Jack Smith, maybe no penalty, because he did sort of leave the door back open, and he has closed the door, as you can see here from Zach Hancock. So I think Jack Angel was very well aware of what happened, and it could be a little bit of lag. But if I was a Clark, which I'm not, and I'd probably be lenient on that one, I think.
Yeah. I mean, no harm done, is it? There's no damage, and he's got the space back or the place back. So, yeah, on they go.
It's all learning, isn't it? Phil Glue always says to me about F4 being, all the youngsters are learning in it, and I take that. It's a very expensive way of learning, but sim racing is learning as well, isn't it, for everybody, as we pick up on Rich Hayden closing down on Andy Dorman. This is, Lydia, this is going to be an old school VRRC battle between these two old stagers, because they've been at it even longer than I have.
I'm sure they'll appreciate you saying that as well.
Was that track limits from Hayden there? He was right over the blue, wasn't he?
Well, I think you're allowed to do what you like when you're abroad, aren't you? What's the ruling, Richard?
Jonathan Palmer hasn't put sensors in these, has he?
No, yeah. So I think you can use whatever you like. I think you can have. You can be on the grass, I think, if you want to.
And Rich was going where he wanted to go. I'm going to get it in the neck for Rich. Rich knows I'm only kidding, but he's trying hard to close up on Andy Dorman. Andy is 10th in the championship, which is surprising. He's normally that much further up, Andy Dorman. He has had 2 podiums last week, first 2 podiums of the campaign, so he's starting to get onto pace and get to grips with these sports cars, and running quite well at the moment, as we pick up again on Jack Angel momentarily. He's got Paul Laramie and Sam Gumbley behind him as well. Sam's another driver who's really impressed me the last couple of weeks. You can see running with the BMW, the orangey red car with the white stripe, running really strongly, and it's nice to see drivers getting up into that top 15, and then when they do so, actually, consolidate it. And now Jack's doing well. Jack Angel in the top 10, Sam Gumbley up in the top 15. So yes, Sam started. Oh no, he was 13th anyway. Sam at the start. So, but maintaining form at the moment. Gabe North's fastest lap. He's still in 3rd place, and it's still Andy Carroll out front at the moment from Oliver Gibson. We're not seeing a huge amount of them, but are we, Lydia? Is it too soon to put the curse of the commentary team on Andy Carroll, the race leader? Are we going to see our first non-BMW race win?
Well, I don't know. You've got 17 minutes, haven't you? Which is still quite a long time, really, isn't it? And I was actually looking, it's 37 degrees track temp. So how much they're looking after their tyres, I suppose, plays into that, doesn't it? Because it's such a long race. So, yeah, I guess it's probably going to be one of those situations. Who looks after the tyre the best? And actually, yeah, P3, Gabriel, is closing on in, isn't he? Because he's just had the fastest lap. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. 16 and a half minutes left. Too early to tell, Richard.
Yeah, not even at halfway stage, are we? So Andy Carroll won't thank me for saying, are we going to see the first non-BMW win? Because there is not a queue forming at the moment, but there are cars behind him who are well capable of closing in. But would we get a battle between Ollie Gibson and Gabe North? I suspect we probably would. Look at the gap back. Gabe is still got a fair way to go, but as you rightly pointed out, still plenty of time for everyone to close in. Kieran Haynes still there in 4th place, and this is kind of like the old guard of VRRC, the likes of Oliver Gibson, Andy Dorman, Andy Carroll, with some newcomers, Gabe North and Kieran Haynes, and very much all at the sharp end, which is great to see. Rich Hayden in 6th outside of the 5 that I've mentioned, and then Jack Smith recovering very well indeed for 7th place. And we're on board with Mason Turner, looking to try and close in on our multi-champion, Jack Smith. The reigning champion, by the way, winning the last championship that we had, which was the Touring Car Championship, is Gabe North. So he's our reigning series champion at the moment. But Jack Smith looking to reclaim the tag of top man at the moment. How much ballast has he got? He's got 10 kg, and Gabe Norse on 9. So on the driver rankings at the moment, by the number of championships and wins, it is Jack Smith who heads the driver rankings with the club at the moment.
I can't believe they're going down to first gear at 100 kilometers an hour. That's insane, isn't it? Look, first gear. How crazy is that? You wouldn't think that would be mechanically possible, would you? At 100 kilometers an hour. That's like 70 mile an hour, is it not?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Really good. Whose boxes are they running here? It's not a Quaif
we need
box.
to know who they are.
It's clearly not a Quaif one, is it?
Poor old Quaif. I had a hard time with the minis, I think.
I think we've got another mini championship coming up as well. We're talking about it anyway, so it'd be good to have another
brilliant.
Mini series later on in the year. Oliver Gibson is closing up though on Andy Carroll, so we have got this battle for the lead. I don't know the circuit that well. As I say, I've not commentated on it before, but basically you've got a long straight coming down towards a wiggly bit before you get to the last corner, and then the home straight, and then a massive wiggly bit on the way out of the circuit as well, to use a technical term. And Oliver Gibson's got in front. A very neat move. And Andy Carroll, I think, bowing to the inevitable there.
I mean, Gibson just seemed to have better legs off the corner, didn't he? Has that been a trend that you've been noticing with the BMWs? Because, to be honest, the traction just looked massive from what Carroll had. Although saying that Carroll is closing on the brake, isn't he? But I think if you watch now, look at that traction that he's got off the corner. I mean, he just gaps him out of the corner. So yeah, is that a characteristic of the car, perhaps? I don't know.
It is. They've just been, superior. I'd say won every single race. We've hardly had any non-BMW podium. So Andy Carroll here, I've said throughout the series that he's kind of punching above his weight a little bit. When he gets past. I'm not saying he's not good at defending, but when he gets passed by somebody, he doesn't let go. It's almost like he prefers being the chaser to me, and he's a very good chaser, is Andy Carroll. He's not really being dropped by Oliver Gibson at the moment. It's going to be interesting. Again, a potential first for this series. We were talking about a first non-BMW win, but we could be talking about our first non-winner outside of Gabe Norse and Jack Smith, which would be interesting to see.
I love the liveries in this championship. Very bright.
They are, yeah. And as I say, we've not been able to catch up with our graphic man, which is a pity. Kenny Press. I don't know if Kenny is around, but kind of miss Kenny on track. He's another VRRC old stager. So hopefully we'll catch up with him at some point as Jack Angel tries to close in on Sam Gumbly. Nice to see some new names, Liddy, though, in the top 10 for us. Jack Angel, I think, has had, let me have a quick look, one top 10 so far. It was race one of the season. So again, it's like he's beginning to get to grips with the car and the series, which is good to see him back in the top 10. Sam Gumbly has had 4 ninth position, so he's going to be a little bit frustrated not to be higher up in this one, but he's consistent top 10 now, is Sam Gumbly. So great to see these two guys, and I kind of we'd like to see them have a run off the front at some point. They are going to be nearer the front, I think, at the start of race 2. 10 minutes to go on this one. Gibson from Carroll, Gabe Norse in 3rd place, getting good points. Kieran Haynes again strong in 4th, Andy Dorman 5th from Rich Hayden. Rich is actually having a very good race here in his Aston Martin. In 6th. This could be a good strong finish from him as Jack Angel takes a nice wide line through the corner there, coming on to towards the main straight area. 6.35, and are we going to see Gabe close up? It's getting to be a taller order as the race goes on.
Carroll's just done his fastest lap of the race as well. So perhaps maybe being in front doesn't actually bode well for him. Maybe you're right. Maybe following is a little bit easier. I think we often see that though, don't we? It's one of those things. Watching the mirror is always a little bit harder, I think, than actually kind of picking your route and going with what's in front, really. So yeah, he was not slow. He was obviously quick. He got off the line well, didn't he? And brought a huge gap and then got caught, but now he seems to be sticking right there. So yeah, perhaps maybe he's just looked after his tyres a little bit more, or maybe he does just prefer be in the car behind, watching what's going on and staying with. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's over yet. Don't think we can. I don't think we can call the winner just yet.
No, I don't think we can. And either way, he's going to be thinking about maybe getting his first P2 of the campaign as well as Andy Carroll. Wins whatever we have. I mean, he's won in everything. I think he's won in single seaters, won in tin tops with us. I'm pretty sure he won in the Legends car, won a race in the Legends Cars Championship as well. And he'll be thinking here. Actually, I don't think he's going to be too worried about the car behind. But what he will be worried about is trying to get back in the lead. But he could be on for a series best in this one. I'm just having a look to see whether we've had a P2. Actually, I think we've only had P3s. It's been BMWs 1 and 2 all the way through. I think, yeah, it is. We haven't even had a non-BMW in second position, so this one might be potentially the antidote to that. It'll be good for the championship if that is the case. But yeah, you're right. He's definitely. Gabe Norse is closing in for sure. Third place car there, closing in. Second place in the championship, reeling in the two race leaders who, if they engage in battle, will slow each other up. But it has looked good from Andy. But will he then sense the pressure from Gabe Norse coming up? What's your preference? Are you a chaser, or do you prefer maybe soaking up a little bit of pressure as he goes back through on the inside? He's got him, but he's going to get him on the cutback.
Well, I don't think that car's quite as good out of the corner as the BMW. So no, he didn't manage it. But I mean, he's certainly shown intent, hasn't he? He's shown Gibson that he's still there and actually willing to have a go and can possibly take the lead back. So yeah, I think we might still see a bit of action. It's nice. It's good that we've got the top three still quite close together. I think we're definitely going to have a fight on our hands for the last 8 minutes of this race. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it pans out.
Yep, should be around about 4 laps to go. But yeah, you're right about the BMW looking good. Andy's looking a little bit extinguished now after that one. Still in P2, maybe he's going to consolidate that. A little bit of lock up there from Oliver Gibson. Again, looking for his first win of the campaign. Thought he was going to be good around here, to be honest, Lydia, because the last time they were here was a single race in the equivalent World Endurance League, which was back in July 2024. As I say, I don't remember working on that one. It might have been an away time for me or whatever, but it was Jack Smith that won from Ollie Gibson with Johnny Ogden. There's a VRRC name we've not heard for some time, that won here. So we know that Jack Smith and Ollie Gibson are always quick around here, and we knew that Gabe Norse is quick wherever you put him. Kieran Haynes learning the track as well. He's back in fourth, having a quiet run at the moment. Andy Carroll, the only driver so far to have won driver of the round on 2 occasions in this campaign, by the way. Imola, which was event 2, and last week at Nurburgring. Although he got a penalty last week. So, there we are, doling out driver of the round. And then, of course, Thursday morning he gets a penalty, and everyone goes, why did they give him driver of the round when he got a penalty? But we don't know that when we dole them out. But it has happened on a few occasions with other drivers as well. Here comes Gabe Norse, though. He's going to start piling the pressure on. We're dropping back just a moment. There's Mason Turner. 7th place, Zach Hancock's behind him. And Rich Hayden is being reeled in as well. So it's Aston, BMW. And we'll see whether the Beamer can get involved here. Still Sam Gumbley 9th, Jack Angel in 10th. Jacob Lander in 11th, which is good to see. Jacob, I was going to say on for his best, but he had 10th position in race 2 at Losail in event 1 of the campaign, which Jack Oliphant was on duty for, I think, with Becky Aparicio as a co-commentator. I think Becky is maybe back next week. We'll check that out. Or Reeve Taylor joining us for the last couple of rounds. I think if it's Fuji, it might be Becky next week, but we'll clear that up before we go off air this evening. But yeah, very definite pressure on Andy Carroll again here as Gabe Norse makes the move down the inside, and that was as clean as we saw from the move that Oliver Gibson did, and Andy being squeezed out a little bit, but again not wanting to give up the place here, Lydia. No,
and he's what is it, a left-hander coming up? What is this? Oh, it's a long straight. Okay, so I'm like, where are we? No, so it's actually, I mean, Gabriel was a second faster than first and second on the on that last lap, so he has got pace. But obviously, I mean, Andy Carroll's putting up a good fight. To be fair, isn't he? He's not giving up. Certainly, he's putting on a good fight, and he doesn't want to give up that second place for sure. But I think Gabriel does look like he's got the upper hand. I think maybe it might only be a matter of time, but we'll soon find out.
Yeah, that move was turn 11. I managed to, have a look and see where we are, and then he got that long straight coming down into the W almost. There's a series of three sort of ins and outs that they do as Rich Hayden and Mason Turner getting involved there. But it's still Carroll in P2 at the moment. This might be good for Oliver Gibson to maybe get away. Still got 5 minutes to go. When I saw all three cars together, I thought this has got Gabe Norse written over it now. But it depends how quickly he can manage to see all three of them still actually circulating together and heading up into turn 1 at the moment. As we again watch Mason Turner in 7th place. Robert Shepherd is 12th, so Robert's having a good run as well, which is good to see. Robert, that would be his best result of the season if he converts that. So well done, Robert Shepherd. I know we're a couple of cars down on numbers, but even so, he's more than bettered that as we watch Andy still in P2. So top 3 well clear of Kieran Haynes, or Kieran. There's a bit of a gap to Kieran Haynes. Those 4 rather big back, teeth in Neil. Big gap back to Andy Dorman, who is in 5th place at the moment. We're going to get the challenge on again as they come down into turn 11 once again. And this time you've got to say that it is Andy Carroll who was closer to the race leader. But again, it changes. They come out of the corner. The BMW of Norse seems to hook up. As you said, Lydia, coming out of the corner, starts to close up. Gibson gets away as a result of having the, I think, superior handling and makes his way down into the 6 corners that constitute the W. Turn 12 is the first, then turn 13, which they will go into. And, once again, the fact that we've got so many corners, again, sort of underlines how well Andy Carroll is doing here.
It does, and actually Carroll doesn't seem to be using quite as much track as everybody else. He seems to, I think he might be on the defence just a little bit, which I think is making it look perhaps worse than it is, because Norse does seem to be sort of in a better position, but saying that, he has just elongated the gap again, hasn't he? It's sort of ebbing and flowing, isn't it? It's yo-yoing a little bit. It seems one driver's quicker in one place and one driver's quicker in the other, and that BMW of Norse there, we're on board with him at the moment, and it does seem to have a bit of oversteer, doesn't it, on the exit of every corner, and that's actually where Carroll has just gapped him onto the straight there. So yeah, but maybe Norse has just taken a little bit too much out of his tyre, and it's now struggling to hang on. I mean, it has been a long race, hasn't it? We've only got 2 minutes left, and it's hot temperature. So, yeah, perhaps maybe that's what we're seeing at the moment.
I think Gabe's probably worked out he's got 2 more laps to close in. So we're on the we're on the penultimate lap of the race at the moment, with Oliver Gibson working to try and get his first win of the campaign. Kieran Haynes not that far behind as well. If these two start squabbling, generally you don't see a Gabe North squabble. Once he goes past, that is it. He tends to be fairly decisive in his moves. I still wouldn't bet against him winning the race here, but Andy Carroll is certainly giving him a very good workout. I often at this point, when we see this kind of battle, Lydia, say that, Gabe North is going to be thinking about championship points. I think that's absolute rot, because Gabe just wants to win the races, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's everyone's instinct, isn't it, really? It's one of those things. He doesn't look like he's trying to conserve points to me. He looks like he wants the position, doesn't he? So, and actually, at this point of the season, I suppose every point counts anyway, doesn't it? So I think he wants it. But for sure, I mean, Carroll's putting up a good fight. He's looking for the inside, and I think he might have this now. Yeah, I think he's done it. Although saying that, Carroll has got the cutback. Gosh, it's like you can't even predict it, can you?
No, you can't. You don't quite know what's going to happen. I suspect now, though, that... and I was going to say that Gabe will start to get away, but Andy Carroll will have another go for sure. I was having a look down, and I was talking about championship points. I think that Jack Smith left the server. I can't see him in the group, which is a pity. And coming back to points wise, I said that Gabe will be thinking about points. He won't be, but he would rather have a race with Jack Smith, to be honest, rather than have Jack out of it. But yeah, this is going to put Gabe into the championship lead. All with it, because I'm thinking about this. This does mean that Jack Smith is could well be a drop round. I hate drop scores. You don't have them, do you, in Porsche Sprint?
No, every score counts, which I think is the way it should be. But well, it's always the way, isn't it? Whether you've got a drop score, you then end up having really good races, but then when you need the drop score, you don't have it. So we're never happy. I think that's the case there. We're just never happy because I've had a non-finish this year. I really would love the drop score, but usually I'm saying, oh, I don't want the drop score. So yeah, we're never happy. It always goes against you, I think.
The funniest ones with that for me this year are the minis, because like there's mini have done away with drop scores, and
Right.
when
God,
you get a
minis.
yeah, you do need that. I mean, you kind of do, but then again, it's top level saloon car racing, so
Yeah.
every score should count, I think. But you get the drivers that then have a DNF in race one. And I'm not being funny, but if you're gonna throw the towel in after a DNF at the first meeting, you shouldn't be in the championship in the first place.
No.
Some of
No,
those drivers,
absolutely.
maybe I'm being a bit flippant, and it's not my money, but that's the way I look at it. Now we're looking at this. We've
Oh,
got Gabe
that's
Norris.
long.
Oh,
Oh, that was from a long way back. But he's shown his eyes, hasn't he?
yeah.
Oh, I messed up.
Contact as well. Andy Carroll goes through into the lead. Kieran Haynes up into second position. No malice in that at all. Absolutely no malice, but it will attract the attention of Ian Danaher. And now we've got Kieran Haynes, who fancies his chance on this last lap of potentially grabbing the race win. They're heading their way down the straight towards the W, which is turns 12 through 18. And we'll see how this one pans out, but it's Andy Carroll who, as you can see on overtime, is the race leader, and running well here is Andy Carroll, and I think we're going to get our first win. We do indeed get our first non-BMW race win for Andy Carroll. Kieran Haynes second again, which is a great result for him, and Oliver Gibson coming through in third place ahead of Gabe Norris. As I said, no malice in that contact. It was, I think, the result of clean racing, of keen racing. It wasn't clean at the end of the day, but keen racing. But there may well have to be judicials here as Rich Hayden comes through, and this is going to be Rich's best finish of the series so far. So well done to Rich on getting a good sixth position here. And this circuit does seem to be a little bit kinder to the non-BMWs. We're still seeing some strong BMW performances. Zach Hancock's coming across the line ninth. I'll run down the top positions as we've got them on the screen for you. Carroll from Haynes and Gibson. Gabe Norris fourth from Andy Dorman and Rich Hayden. Sam Gumbley in seventh position, and that's his best finish in the campaign. Well done, Sam. Great to see. Zach Hancock's comes through for eighth, beats his previous best of ninth on the meeting before last. So good stuff from Zach. Jacob Lander in ninth place, and Jacob's best finish as well. So well done. Great, really encouraging to see so many drivers getting best finishes. Jack Angel up into the top 10 as well. Second top 10 of the year for him. 11th goes to Robert Shepherd from Josh Brennan. Paul Laramie and Chris Blakey wind up in the pits, and we'll have a chat with our top three in just a couple of minutes.
Stages of the second Legends Cars race.
Welcome back. First podium of the evening, first of three, and our first of three drivers that we're going to talk to is the man in third position, Oliver Gibson. Oliver, first of all, welcome back to the VRRC podium, and obviously week before last you were poorly. Hope all is well now, and talk us through that one.
Yeah, all good now, much better. So glad to be back. Just it's a shame, but no, I mean I enjoyed that race. It was really, really good. Just credit to Andy, he drove very, very well. I mean I was properly pushing it throughout the race, and then I think I cooked my tyres, and then I just couldn't get away from him. So fair play, but no, it's a shame about what happened, but it is what it is.
Bit of context. Obviously, we saw Gabe having a go, and you've got to have a go, haven't you? But just wound up with a little bit of contact, and I said there's no malice in it. It never is, but I suspect Ian will probably have a look, and it'll be the same whoever makes contact. But how was it from your perspective?
Yeah, it's just lap one, final lap, final lap things. I think for the lead, just there's a few sends, and then just one too many, I think. But no, I mean he gave it back, so is what it is. But obviously I would have liked the win. So just one too many sends, I think.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, good racing to watch, and good points for you as well. Which, you're dicing effectively with Gabe for second in the championship. So it wasn't just about the race win. Although I don't think you guys, as I said in the commentary, really are thinking too much about championship points when you're going wheel to wheel like that. But it is the battle for second in the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get as many points as I can. So, I just would have liked the win. Obviously, that's a lot of points, and I haven't won, I don't think, this series yet. So, would have been nice. But no, honestly, I'm happy with the podium because I didn't expect to be anywhere near a podium. So, very happy. But I've treated the races a bit different. As a wise man once said, you've got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast. Get to the line. I'm only joking.
How appropriate is that at this time of year as well?
I wanted to do it last week because the race was on when the game was on. I was like, I wanted to do it. I didn't get a podium.
Can you do it like John Barnes? Is it John Barnes that did that?
Yeah. No, I can't do as good as him.
We might have to set that up. We're going to Hop Cavern do karaoke.
No, Lee would. I think Lee would kick everyone out. No,
I like
not.
that though. That's really cool, mate. That's absolutely brilliant. I do love that. We're looking forward to. It's as Lydia pointed out actually when we were off air. It's pretty much everybody. It's a totally reversed grid for race 2 because I don't think there were 15 finishers in that one.
Oh, I did not know that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, you might get a little bit nearer the front, and we've got some interesting times ahead. I was just going to take a quick flashback as to last time we were here, July 2024, and you were second to Jack with Johnny Ogden in third. I think it was a single race last time in the World Endurance League.
Yeah, that was a good race. I like this track. I mean, this track's so fun, but it just destroys tyres, and with my driving style, it's not good. So I was hanging on a bit at the end, so.
That's
work
good.
On that.
Good podium anyway. Well done, Ollie. Lovely to chat to you and hopefully catch up with you after race 2.
Cheers. Thank you.
Welcome back, mate. Great to have Oliver Gibson back with us on the podium. And also good to have back again. Continuing a good run of podiums is Kieran Haynes. Well done, Kieran. A 4th podium on the bounce for you. And really good opportunity. You read that well, that last couple of corners to get up into second place. But what was your take on it?
Yeah, I know Oliver was talking about his tyres and they were gone, but my engine was gone as well. I think the last couple of laps I changed down one too many gears and it turned red, my engine did. So I lost so many straight line speed. But I kept out of trouble and I seen Oliver and Gabe just battling it out and I knew there was going to be contact at some point. So I just held back and waited for the opportunity and I pounced at the right time, so yeah.
And good for your third place in the table. I mistakenly said Ollie was third in the table coming into that one, but he was actually 4th. So, it keeps you in touch with Gabe in terms of that, but also it underlines the fact that you came through from 13th on the grid. So, you've got to do the same thing again in race 2, but we're seeing you continually do that. As I said, 4th podium on the bounce. And we're seeing you rack up the speed, but also speed and consistency. And That's so important, isn't it, in championships?
Yeah, I mean, I am struggling on the exits or corners. That's where I am losing time around this track. So I might adjust a few things, but I won't adjust it now, just because I don't know how it handles. So yeah, I'm hoping to make my way through the pack again. So yeah.
We look forward to seeing what you can do in race 2, but well done. See if you can make it 5 podiums on the bounce, Kieran. We'll be keeping a keen eye on you as you try and work your way through the field.
I shall try.
Good man with Andy Carroll and Oliver Gibson and Gabe as well. Look forward to seeing you guys battling it out. So well done. Great to catch up with you again, and good luck for the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much.
Kieran Haynes in P2, and a word with our winner is Andy Carroll, the first non-BMW winner. First win of the campaign for Andy as well. Congratulations, mate. I've got to say, it's been coming for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was coming, obviously, about halfway through that race, because the only thing that was coming were the BMWs. But, yeah, no, obviously, same as Kieran, I was kind of, looking at Gabe and Ollie, and I thought, oh, for last lap, there might be something going on here. So, yeah, just tried to sort of stay close to them, and obviously, just managed to nip through when they made contact. Thankfully, that was the last lap, so you didn't really have any pressure after that. Just managed to, not do anything silly in the last few corners. So yeah, very chuffed with that.
Lydia and I were sort of speculating as to whether it fires you up more when you've got someone to focus on in front of you. Certainly, you don't give up a fight, and we're not saying you're quicker when you're chasing, but you know it did seem to add a little bit of fire to your belly, maybe.
Yeah, I think once I was behind Oliver, obviously I had the benefit of a bit of a draft. You could tell the McLaren was much quicker through the slow corners, but that first sector, trying to hang on to those BMWs is really tough. But the last sector, once you get, after the straight on the back straight, after that, you kind of they're slightly susceptible to a challenge there. So I'm a bit quicker through that sort of second half of the lap. But they've got so much pace in the first part of the lap. It's just got to try and stick with them, and then see if you can do something, in that twisty bit at the end.
It's a difficult circuit, isn't it? I think it's the first time I've called any of these here. I was just looking at the stats as well, Andy, and not only is it it's your first win of this campaign, first win for a non-BMW, but it's actually the first time a BMW's been beaten into the top 2, because every race in this campaign has been BMW at least 1-2.
Yeah, well, I certainly wasn't I was definitely trying to get a podium, but I really chuffed to manage to get on the top step, and let's see what we can get up to in this race, and again, try and push for a podium. Obviously, the BMWs will be a bit closer to me right at the start now, so it could be interesting, but we'll give it our best shot and see where we can get to.
Nice one. Always great to catch up with you and have a chat and to watch you racing, and thanks for entertaining us in that one. Very well done.
Thank you.
Andy Carroll, our race winner. Kieran Haynes in second. Oliver Gibson completing our podium as we look forward to race 2 of the evening. Our last 30-minute race. We then have a 15-minute sprint race to wrap things up. And the reverse is there. Paul Laramie on pole position. And great to see Jack Smith is on track in P2. It's got to be Jack Smith to win this one, I would have thought. From there, hoping he can keep out of trouble, Lydia.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with Jack Smith back, I mean, obviously he's the lead in the championship at the moment, but I don't know if he still is after that race where he didn't finish, but coming into the round, he was leading the championship, wasn't he? So he was clearly the one to beat throughout the season so far. So I think, all eyes on him to see. Hopefully he can finish this one and see where he ends up.
I think, Gabe will have the lead, but obviously when you've just added one race into the totals they've got, you can't reassess drop scores until the round's complete. So it's a sort of provisional championship lead for Gabe Norse at the moment, for those of you that are interested in keeping count. But this is very much the opportunity for Jack to maybe have a go. But he's got some great drivers in and around him. He's got Josh Brennan to his inside, just behind, and in front he's got Paul Laramie. And Paul is no easy easy pass at all. Robert Shepherd in 4th, Jack Angel P5, and we're very nearly into start time again for the second race of the evening. Away we go, and let's see whether the Swift Cooper boys can avoid each other. They are giving each other plenty of space, which is good. Jack Smith has got past Paul Laramie on the inside into the leads. Robert Smith in 4th, I think, with Josh Brennan just squeezing him into 3rd place. Robert Shepherd getting back in the white car into 3rd. Nice to see Robert in a reverse grid podium position, which is good to see. Andy Carroll there in the very distinctive orange and blue, trying to work his way through from the back of the grid with Andy Dorman next to him, so he's got some serious work to do. But Jack Smith, textbook start from Jack. How much of a lead is he going to have by the time we get to the halfway point? And Gabe North's already up to 6th, Lydia, so he's not going to hang about in this one either. There he is.
No, I was watching his turn 1. He was on an absolute mission. It was almost like a bowling ball going through not hitting anyone, but just almost weaving his way through. It was quite impressive to see, actually. And
that's like my bowling. The bowling ball. Yeah, when I'm bowling, the ball doesn't hit anything. You know?
Missing all the pins. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it was a good start from him. But I think Jack Smith has certainly run away with it at the moment, hasn't he? But yeah, it wasn't a great start from Laramie, unfortunately. He seemed to really struggle off the line. Whether that was just, I don't know, poor reaction on the lights, or I don't know, but yeah, Jack Smith was quite convincing off the start and got the job done early.
Paul still in 2nd place, and already up into 3rd is Gabe North. So he said man on a mission on turn 1, which was, you know, superb start for him. But it's not great for Jack Smith seeing Gabe North coming through like this. But Gabe is going to score well, and he's going to put himself on pole if he stays where he is. Put himself on pole for race 3. And it's going to be damage limitation for Jack Smith. But what we might get, if Jack doesn't get away too swiftly, is a battle between Gabe and Jack, which is kind of what we want to see. But Jack won't want to. Want to just make the most of being off the front and disappear if he can do that. Now we look back from Rich Hayden, who was 6th in the first one, so kind of mid-order again in the reverse bit. And remember, started outside the reverse section in race number 1, but got well inside it, and has got Ollie Gibson right behind him as well at the moment, with Jacob Lander ahead of them. And again, lovely to see new names. I know a lot of the names are going to be new to you as well in the championship, as Rich moves ahead of Jacob Lander. So a very neat move down the inside by Jacob. I don't know whether I should have asked Luke Cooper when I messaged him the other day whether Luke actually watches these races back as well as part of his mentoring role. I suspect he probably does. Luke, who I haven't checked up on all of the Formula Ford results. One of the annoying things being a commentator is you want to look at every single race result and watch every live stream. You just can't do it. So I apologise to people when I don't know their results over the course of the season. And thinking back to Ginetta, I had their big G-Fest this week, and I couldn't even tell you who won in the juniors. I'm normally very, very keen to see who was in the juniors. Coming up though, into talking of Ginettas and stuff, is former Ginetta champion Gabe North up into P2 ahead of Paul Laramie. So Paul in with a shout here of a podium from where he is, and that would be good to see. Just having a look, Paul hasn't done that many races with us so far this year, so by far and away is going to be his best out of 3 meetings that we've had so far, and taking the battle back to Gabe North, but can't quite do it. But that's the Paul Laramie we know and love, getting stuck in to P2 man Gabe North. The gap that we've got to keep an eye on is 3.6 seconds. Smith to North, 1st and 2nd in the championship, 1st and 2nd on track now, and we've got a mouth-watering 26 minutes left to go.
Yeah, that's a huge gap for just lap 1, isn't it? That is massive, or lap 2. That's huge, but I think, to be honest, I don't think it'll be long. What's the... Yeah, so the last lap difference was massive, but obviously Gabe has been on a bit of a mission, hasn't he? So that's obviously not an optimum lap time for him. But yeah, I reckon the gap will close, but he's got his work cut out because the gap's huge already, isn't it? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But this is quite a gaggle, isn't it? Gosh, look at this.
Yeah,
Hayden right in the middle as well.
yeah, Ollie does. And Andy Carroll right in the mix of it as well. But great to see Robert Shepherd up the front, building his experience with us at the VRRC, having that great race with Jack Angel at the moment. Rich Hayden is in the mix as well, and Rich dives out down the inside. That's that blind turn. Have you raced Anglesey? Because it's very much like Anglesey,
Yes.
apart from the drop away now. What did you do? Was it in the mini Anglesey?
Saxo.
Oh,
Yeah,
Saxos.
right, way back when. Yeah, when I was about 14. Yeah, yeah, never been back since. It's great. It's a great track. It's just you're so open to the elements, aren't you? At least here, I think in Texas, we should have good weather. Anglesey, you're is a bit, up in the air.
I'd never done a. Oh, well, that's a shame. Robert Shepherd goes off and down, but I've got to say, Robert Shepherd really needs to take part from the first few laps that he did there. But sticking with the top four. And defending well. It's a shame that we've lost him. It puts Rich Hayden up to 4th, Jack Angel 5th from Oliver Gibson. But yeah, going back to Anglesey, I've been there many times. I'd never done a track walk before this year. We had a bit of time to kill in the morning, and that is so steep, isn't it, up into that radar complex? You don't realise, and you can't see, can you, what's around the corner?
No, a lot of it is quite blind, isn't it, and very unforgiving. So yeah, I always wondered whether anyone's actually ever managed to get into the ocean, into the sea, because it's so close, isn't it? And when you drive round, I was getting distracted because it's quite a nice view. So you're driving around and you think, gosh, that's a lovely view, and then you think, oh gosh, there's a corner coming up. At least there's less to look at around this track.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Andy Carroll up to 5th. He's driving his socks off, isn't he? Robert Shepherd's recovered well too. He's in 12th, which is, down towards the tail end of the field, but he hasn't lost that much ground on the pack as well. So it's really good recovery for Robert Shepherd in 12th. Mason Taylor 13th from Sam Gumbley, then John Brown and Jacob Lander in 16th. And Jack Smith up front. The gap has come down to 2.9 seconds between first and second. Paul Laramie third. Rich Hayden probably fancies himself on the podium here because he's in P4 at the moment. And if he works with Andy Carroll, not that anyone ever works with each other in this type of racing, maybe apart from Gibson and Smith, who might give each other a bit of room from time to time, but even they get stuck in. But yeah, if they were to work together, there might be some podium pickings available. Loads of the Swift Cooper team cars about though, and Angel and Haynes this time. So Haynes is up into 7th, trying to work his way through. And this is the nice thing, isn't it? For Kieran was saying he gunned his engine in race 1. That's the quickest engine change you've ever seen, isn't it?
Does it reset then, Richard? How does that work?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think they reset.
Okay, good.
And
this is a nice
so.
little battle. Yeah, of course. Yeah, imagine that. hindered the whole evening because of an engine issue. But this is a nice little battle going on, isn't it? It's all very clean, and it's swapping places every corner, which is great to watch.
Well, you say it's clean now, but
well, as it stands, the last 30 seconds have been quite clean.
yeah, I think they will. To be honest, everyone will try their hardest to keep it going. Robert Shepherd down in 13th now. Jack Smith still out front. Gabe Norse is in P2. And the guy's just coming out of the end of the W, so 18 coming into, beg your pardon, 15 into 16 turns at the moment, and the gap 3.1. So, and there is Andy Carroll and Rich Hayden again, two great mates having a good old battle there, and Carroll goes through into 4th place. So I think we're saying the McLaren is better than the Aston at the moment, or are we just saying that Andy is outperforming Rich Hayden for the moment this evening? Rich is definitely on a strong run. It's the bet, and it is heartening to see him up near the sharp end of things for Rich. As I say, he is like Andy Carroll, a race-winning driver in VRRC, and now I think we might see an Aston McLaren battle as Rich has got someone to focus on as well. And as Andy mentioned, picking up a bit of the draft, no doubt, at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Rich does seem quite strong, doesn't he? But he doesn't seem to be able to get by. And when he does get past, Andy just slips back in, doesn't he? So, yeah, no reprieve for Rich there. But actually, just look at who's just got fastest lap again, Jack Smith. So we thought the gap was coming down, but Jack's just clinched it again. So, yeah, I'm not sure that gap is coming down as much as we thought. It's still 3 seconds. But, yeah, Andy Carroll driving away from Rich there. Rich is not managing to keep hanging on, is he?
No, very, very much so. He's getting away. I was just looking as well. I was thinking that their aim was to try and close in on Paul Laramie. Paul's got a very good lead at the moment ahead of him in 3rd place. He's way in the distance. But with 20 minutes to go, we know that could all get undone. Ollie Gibson working his way through as well. And I start to try and turn my thoughts towards who's going to be top scorer, who's going to be gold medalist at the end of the evening. It could be Ollie Gibson, because he is probably here angling for a 4th, I would think, at the moment. Is realistic what he could achieve. Gabe Norse probably is going to be top scorer with was it a 4th and a 1st? Jack with a non-finish. So Jack's going to be, I don't know, halfway down the grid, 3rd or 4th row maybe, at best, if things stay the way they are for the sprint race. Same points available for the sprint race as well. So tall order for him as Chris Blakey has a side-by-side moment there with Zach Hancock, gets the position. Zach Hancock's running in the, as I mentioned before, in the VRRC Mazda MX-5 Clubman's Championship, which is the one-day event. Clubman, normally Mazdas have a two-day meeting, but the Clubman's just have the one day to try and keep the cost down, and one night's less accommodation, and it can facilitate, you know, you going to work on a somewhat easier, maybe on a Sunday or whatever. Thanks for the shout out today. I had a shout out from the Mazdas who I think there's a scholarship in the offing for next year for Mazdas, and I always bang on about scholarships. So I always get asked to do the media work on them, which is rather nice. So thank you for the people who think of it. But keep your eyes and ears open for that. I know there's a Honda scholarship next year, which I'm definitely working on in October. So if you want to sort of try your hand at getting into club racing, probably a really good thing for anyone who's of age to do senior racing that is with VRRC. But there's one of those, and there is also, as I say, I think a Mazda scholarship upcoming as well. They haven't announced the dates of the Mazda one yet, but what I would say, any of you who've done interviews with me on here, it will make the media easier because you know the person you're talking to at the interviews. So there you go. You stand a good chance of passing the media bit. Anyway, enough of a plug for that. Back to Ollie Gibson, P5 and P6, trying to hunt down Rich Hayden here for 5th place.
And he's all over him, isn't he? Did you see the way he caught up to him through the S's there? I mean, it was almost like Rich was just coasting through. That was how quick Gibson came up alongside him, and he's alongside him now. And I think that might be job done. Yeah, I think that looks like job done to me. So, yeah, he's on a bit of a mission, Gibson, isn't he? He's come from quite far back, hasn't he? And he does look strong, but he's now got quite a gap to close up until P4, hasn't he? So whether that's just the end of his mission, or although saying that, Rich is now fighting back, isn't he? So he's not moving forward anytime soon, because he's still going to be in this battle with Rich, and Rich has got past. So don't write Rich out yet.
Yeah, and Kieran Haynes coming up into the mix as well. It's a lovely battle between these two, absolutely brilliant. And that part on the, I don't know, we can't really call it a triangle. It's probably what are the long regular triangles? Are they isosceles or are they scalings? I can never remember. Did you do triangles at school? Probably.
I mean, yes, but it was a long time ago.
What
this
are the
is
tall
too
thin
technical
ones?
of a question. Yeah.
Anyway,
thin ones? I don't know. Ask AI. ChatGPT would tell us.
Yeah, they probably would. Anyway, so the sort of second wobbly straight was the bit Andy Carroll was saying that he was getting mullered by the BMW, and that was certainly the case there for Rich Hayden. But he's got him back, so Rich driving very well indeed. So it's P5 at the moment for Rich, goes out of shot. There is Paul I'll tell you what, that gap Paul Laramie to Andy Carroll has fallen very quickly, isn't it?
Well, I was just about to say, I felt a bit bad for Laramie because he was in a field of sort of a realm of his own. He had, I think, 11 seconds in front of him and a huge gap behind. But, I mean, he's now got a friend to drive around with in Andy Carroll, which is, I guess, quite well. I don't know if it is nice for him, really, because I would imagine it was pretty boring. But now I think it's going to get a little bit more interesting for him for the remainder of this race, which will be good for us to watch, but maybe not so nice for him. But I think it's nice to have a little drive around with someone, because the front two have cleared off, haven't they?
Yeah, way down the road, as maybe we might expect. The gap now is 1.8, so it's really come down between 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is closer as well. So this is the shout for the first non-BMW, and at the moment it's Aston ahead of McLaren. It's a three-way scrap going on behind them as well. Gibson, Hayden and Haynes all involved in the mix as well. So job really to know where to look, but we stay at the moment with the battle for 3rd place, and it's the McLaren that goes for the big burn up round the outside. Has he got enough speed into the corner to hold on? The answer is no, he hasn't at the moment. Good battle.
No, Laramie almost stopped it on the apex, didn't it? It looked like Carroll was going to go around the outside, and then he just couldn't. He had nowhere to go. But it's nice that he didn't run in the back of him, which was great. And it allows the battle to continue, which is nice to see. But I think Carroll does look like the stronger field here, but Laramie is putting up a good fight. And we've got Rich off in the background and Gibson. So that's a shame.
Yeah. More for Ian Danaher to sort out.
Yeah, we didn't see that though, did we?
I hope Ian's on an hourly rate and not just...
He'll be working until your next round, I reckon.
You could well be right. So yeah, how's that panned out? So Kieran Haynes again has sort of come through. He's up into fifth. Andy Dorman 6th with Chris Blakey, then Oliver Gibson. Rich Hayden down to 11th. Paul Laramie still here out front at the moment. And Laramie showing the spirit we saw from Andy Carroll in race number 1. And Andy, I think, has got the move done this time down into, or up into turn 1, we probably should say, as they now head back downhill once again. But yeah, Paul Laramie, really good to see him up fighting for podium positions once again. But Andy Carroll really has got to grips with this car over the last couple of rounds. He wasn't with us at Losail, so his first outing, when everyone else was getting used to the cars, was Imola. And you can do all the testing. Obviously, Andy works for a living. I was disparaging about some of the students last week, Lydia, and saying that students, probably this time of year, all done their exams, so they can basically spend every waking hour on the sim. But if you're working for a living, the sim time is a little bit more of a premium because you've got family to look after. Other things to do as well, and I'm not saying that it's easier for the students, but there's probably more opportunity to get on a sim. So the likes of Andy, missing Losail the first round really put him on the back foot for Imola, but he hasn't actually finished outside the top 7 in all the races that he's done so far. So he has been the non-BMW star in this one, Andy Carroll, on 5th in the championship and top non-BMW.
Consistency is key. But, I mean, we're only halfway through, aren't we, in this championship, essentially? So he's still got a long way to go. And if he has missed around and he's already 5th in the championship, then that goes to show that if he continues with the strong pace, I mean, he's 3rd at the moment, he needs to just keep picking up the points, and you just never know where you're going to be at the end, do you? So, yeah, I guess for him, every lap will get better and better. And like you say, with the students and everything else, the more you do, the easier it almost becomes, doesn't it? It becomes second nature, and I guess that's probably the case for Andy Carroll. The more races he does, the more at one he feels with the car as such.
I'd love to see, all of these guys get an equal shout in real racing. I mean, I know it will never happen, but wouldn't it be great to see all of these characters out on a real track in a real formula, whatever it might be, at some point? It's lovely to... Actually, Scott Bugner's the other one we've been seeing this week. One of the drivers I have seen most regularly. Scott's not here, which is a little bit of a shame. But yeah, would definitely like to see all these guys on track together if we could have a big fleet of racing cars, and I'd certainly invite them all down to have a go with yourself, Lynn. How are you enjoying your season, by the way? Because you're with a new team this year.
I am, yes. I've joined Clean Racing, and the team are fantastic. They're really, really good. But I think for me, it all came together very, very last minute. So I signed up 2 days before Media Day, which a Media Day is very close to the start of the season anyway. So yeah, I definitely left it to the final hour, which did make it a little bit more of a challenge because we had absolutely zero testing. But yeah, it's great. It's a new car for me because I was in the Club Sport last year and I've moved up to the RS Championship. So I'm learning a new car, but yeah, it's really good. The car's fab. The team are great. We got up to Knockhill next, so we are missing Thruxton, but we're up to Knockhill. Sunny Knockhill. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And we've got a couple of test days. So we've just had a test day last week, and we've got another one at Knockhill prior to the Friday test day. So hopefully with a bit more testing under my belt, I'll feel a little bit more confident. But I think we've got a change for P6 now.
Yeah,
P6 or P7. Yeah.
Yeah. Gibson past Blakey, so yeah, neat move. Again, those guys race with each other a huge amount, so really good stuff to see. They're not going to take each other off. Well, we hope not. As we get towards the last 10 minutes, the gap's gone out again. Jack Smith's responded to Gabe Norton. Although we're not seeing them go wheel to wheel, you do look at the timing of the top two and think, yeah, okay, so Gabe Norton's had the big chase and managed to sort of close in, but then has responded. Gabe Norris with the fastest lap of the race once again. So 2 minutes 3.7.
Oh, did you see Laramie off on the left then?
No, I was looking at the timing screen. So
Laramie's just pulled off to the left. Not sure what's happened to him.
Oh, that's a shame.
Crash with the environment, whatever that means. So he's hit the barrier, obviously, I presume.
Yeah, that's not good. Oh, it's a shame for Paul. I was looking forward to seeing him get a decent result and was looking hopeful for a podium at some point. But yeah, Smith and North sort of trading times, and that's the battle that you kind of have to watch here. As Chris Blakey now up ahead of Paul Laramie, and Paul trying to work his way back, and kicking himself if that was a self-inflicted issue. Rich Hayden down in 6th, Mason Turner is in 10th, Kieran Haynes in 4th, and yeah, 10 minutes to go. So you got a separate Knockhill test session you got to go up for, as well as the one before the race meeting.
Well, it's the same week. It's on the same week, so we're just.
Oh,
going
right. So you
once.
basically got to spend all week in Scotland.
Basically, yeah, as usual, which is actually quite nice because this time I think it's on the Wednesday. When we were in minis, they always used to put it on like the Monday or the Tuesday, so we would literally be up at Knockhill Circuit for like a week. So it's like our annual holiday, Knockhill Circuit. Lucky us, but but yeah, no, it's yeah, it's good. I always like Knockhill, but it's such a short track, isn't it? So you kind of have to nail every corner because it's no, you can't afford to have one problem corner really, can you? Because it's such a short lap. So yeah, but the Caymans are great round there. It's the first time the Caymans went last year, wasn't it? And I think they put on a good show. So yeah, I'm excited to be in the action this year. Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, I always look forward to it. I think it's usually festival time, isn't it? Fringe festival time as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and we had gorgeous weather last year. Do you remember, Richard? It was like the Mediterranean. Not a single drop of rain.
Nice,
yeah, it was so hot. So hopefully more of that this year, please. Because usually we go and it's like every single season, isn't it? Like one day.
Yeah. I got a quietish weekend. We got Legends and Minis, I think that's.
Okay. Is it the Scottish Legends then?
Yeah.
Oh,
the Nationals. Yeah, the Nationals couldn't get the gig, so the Scottish guys have got it, and they're a terrific bunch as well. Andrew Donald, who runs it and let us run their official esports series. Duncan Vincent looks after it from the Knockhill side. He's a great guy. I think Duncan's going to come and do some co-coms as well at some point on that, which I'm excited about. And he's the voice of BSB now as well, the Superbikes.
Oh right, yeah.
Top man. He was taking the mickey out of me and winding me up and stuff. He's a great lad. I love it when people do that. It's it makes you feel like you're part of the team, doesn't it? When you get some stick off of them. And yeah, Dunk's a good lad. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Oliver Gibson looking forward to climbing close to a podium. So manages to make another position there on Andy Dorman. So it's going to be good points for Ollie. Again, championship-wise, running well. As I said, fourth. I said third, but he was fourth coming into the round, down behind Kieran Haynes. And Kieran's going to bag another couple of points out of him here in this race at the moment, as we pick up with Rich Hayden chasing Mason Turner. Mason, a race winner on his day as well. And one of the things that I would say is we have got some new drivers since you last joined us for commentary, Lydia, but we were looking at the top 15 last week, and I'm not kidding you, any one of the top 15 drivers in that reverse could have been capable of taking a win. It's so competitive out here at the moment.
Look at our P1 and P2. They are not separated by much anymore. It's just extended to 1.8 seconds, but it was only a second, so they're getting closer. I think Jack Smith must have had a mare on the last lap because he lost half a second on Gabriel Norse, so they're getting tighter. And this little battle is still ongoing, isn't it? 23 minutes on, and we're still going.
Rich Hayden trying to get back up into the top 10. So Mason Turner, one of our young Swift Cooper drivers, in the mix as well. Zach Hancock's up ahead of him. And hopefully, I know a lot of the youngsters that are in the Swift Cooper team aren't old enough to race Formula Ford yet, but I hope they can make it to the festival, which is the tail end of October this year. We'd love to see them at Brands Hatch and give them a real flavour of some proper single-seater racing if they can come along. Really excited. We were talking about that in the week. Formula Ford, and here comes Rich Hayden, who does the dive down the inside, but now was that a spin on the brakes, or was that a little bit of contact, or a bit of both?
I don't know. I didn't actually see it. I was looking at the timing, but
that's my job.
Sorry.
That's my.
He did a nice little donut to get it back going straight. So we'll applaud him for that. But I don't know. Was it just that he was too tight and he picked up the power too early? Do you reckon?
Yeah, it could well have been that.
Yeah.
Could well have been. Yeah.
That's a shame
for Rich. So here's Gabe Norse, P2, 1.9 seconds away. Jack's just kept him at arm's reach through here, isn't he? He's got another 6 minutes to go. And they're well clear. So they've kind of got the length, if you know the track well enough. Turn 11 down to the start of the W, turn 12. They've got that lead over the third place battle at the moment. And they're just going through the wiggles of turns 13 and 14, 15. So running well, and Gabe Norse 2 seconds down. You see it wavers between 1.8, 2 seconds, and Jack Smith continues to lead. But Gabe Norse would have pole at the moment, the way things stand for race 3, which is the sprint race. And that will give him decent points. Jack non-scoring, I think, in race number 1. So Yeah, row 3, row 4 maybe. Not quite sure. I haven't written the points totals out. Gabe Norse is throwing it around though. He's desperately trying to close up.
He is. It actually looks a lot closer on the map than it does in reality. When I was looking on the map, it looked like they were right close together, but I think Jack Smith has got it in the bag here, hasn't he? He's got quite a lot of breathing space. He can afford to... I mean, they're pretty much doing the same lap times, aren't they? So the gap's not closing or elongating, really. So, yeah, I think Jack Smith has got this one in the bag, as long as he can... I don't know what happened to him in the last one, whether it was a computer issue or something, but hopefully everything still continues in the right trajectory for him. But yeah, pretty convincing. I mean, he's led from lap 1, corner 1, hasn't he, to the or well, fingers crossed, to the end. So yeah, no, good race from him.
I was just thinking points wise, probably going to be Andy Carroll, isn't it, top of the points, because he's third here. So it'll be a third and a win, and Gabe Norse will be a second and a fourth. So it'll be Andy Carroll on pole. So apologies, Andy, and the Andy fans. Sounds like a Labour Party now, don't the Andy fans, Andy Burnham. But we won't get into politics, so I won't do that. Have you heard Andy Burnham speak? It sounds just like Paul McCurlin from the VRRC.
I don't know Paul from the VRRC, but I prefer not to listen, to be honest, to the politics.
I just thought, what's Paul McCurlin doing on the telly?
Oh,
really? With dark hair and glasses, and he's kind of Paul looks like an older Andy Burnham. Anyway, yeah, we'll get off politics. Sorry, Lydia. Yeah. Mason Turner 10, Jack Smith out front, 2.3 the gap on the last corner. So Smith looking comfortable at the moment. It should give us, in theory, an interesting final race. I mean, Gabe's going to want to rocket ship away from Andy Carroll off the front, but we know that Andy can give him a race, and it might give him long enough of a hold up and a battle to allow several other drivers to get into the mix in the early stages of race 3 as well. But we're into the last couple of laps of this one. It's been another decent race, I've got to say. Yeah, we've had some contact that needs to be looked at and get sorted out, but steady up the front as we watch Paul Laramie, who's had a good recovery actually. Paul's got back up into 8th place ahead of Zach Hancock and Mason Turner, trying to close on his friend Chris Blakey further down the road. Both of them real life BMW production racers. Actually, dare I say modified BMW racers as well. And Laramie really in the battle with Zach Hancock. So 2 real world racers really getting stuck in, and maybe one day we'll see them race the same formula. But for the moment, we only get to see that here. 2:31 on the clock. Quick check on Norse and Smith are heading through turn 10 at the moment, so just coming into turn 10. I'm trying to work out the lap times. 2:18 here, so this will be the penultimate lap, won't it, for them? They'll have one more lap to go after this. So there is the Laramie, Hancocks and Turner battle, with Rich Hayden adrift of this at the moment. Let's see what Mason Turner can do. He's going to go for the shout round the outside, but Zach Hancocks recovers from that, but he's on the wrong side of the road for the next corner, and Mason Turner goes up into 9th place. So good battle for top 10 points.
And he read that well, didn't he, Mason?
Yeah.
He saw the driver in front having a little bit of a wiggle and just kind of picked his route and streamed straight past. So yeah, it was well read by him. But Paul Laramie seems like he's holding these 2 off, really. I think he probably could do with them battling a little bit more, couldn't he, really? Because they are still fairly close. He can't really breathe a sigh of relief just yet. And Mason Turner does look pretty fast, so yeah, I think Paul Laramie might have a bit of a battle on his hands, and he is defending now, so he obviously knows it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. 3-way scrap then to get us in towards the end of the race. Meanwhile, on the timing screen, I can tell you that Jack Smith's coming into the last corner for the penultimate time. We've got 1 minute and 3 on the clock, so he's about to start the last lap of the race as Mason Turner makes the move again on the outside run, and that's a great move.
That was incredible. I think he's ended up in the gravel though, so it didn't quite work. But I mean, if that had stuck, that would have been huge. But he has actually.
Oh!
I was going to say he's managed to get up the inside, but there was a bit of contact, and it looks like the person that's going to come out on top here is
Zach Hancock.
Yeah, Zach Hancock's. Although it's not over, is it? Because he's just run wide and Laramie's back up the out. Well, it is the outside, so yeah, I don't think he's going to quite make that stick. Or maybe he is.
Yeah, possibly. I think Zach reckons he's in a VRSCC Mazda race, because they're very much like that.
Really? Yeah, no, I think, and he read it well, didn't he, I suppose?
Yeah, he did read it well. Came out of it superbly. So on to the last lap now. It is Jack Smith, 3 seconds ahead of Gabe Norse. Gabe's got the fastest lap of the race still. Better just check up on that. Yes, he has 2 minutes 37.58, which was set earlier on. So it's Smith from Norse, Andy Carroll in a Billy No Mate's 3rd place. But 2 podiums is going to be very good news and good result for him. As we get to look at the DK Power Hop Cavern backed car of Jack Smith. Are you at Croft, Lydia, as well, or are you?
Yeah, we are at Croft. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that double Porsche, or are you just?
Yeah, double Porsche. Yeah.
Right, that means I won't have much to do that weekend, isn't it?
Oh dear, sorry.
I think we've got F4 and minis as well, which is
Okay.
cool, which is good. But I think the Hop Cavern is up near that way, so put your shout in for a free drink on for Jack sponsors.
Oh, where is that then? Is that in Croft?
It's not in Croft, but it's that kind of geography. It's that sort of way.
Okay.
So if you're up there for a bit of testing as well, could well be the thing to do. Jack now heading down into the final turn. You can see the pit entry there on the left, and he's managed this one as we suspected he would. Finally get some decent fortunes, Jack Smith, this evening, and comes up to take the checkered flag. Race winner Jack Smith. Well done, Jack. Gabe Norse. We'll get our first interview of the evening with Jack and Gabe, and our second interview of the evening with the man coming around the final turn, which is Andy Carroll, who is gunning maybe for a 3rd Driver of the Round award. We don't generally like to try and give them to the same drivers, but again, marking himself out as the best non-BMW, so good run from Andy Carroll in P3. So Smith, Norse and Carroll, your top 3. Here comes Kieran Haynes, super consistent. Kieran, the run of consecutive podiums finishes, but it's 4th place. So, you know, if you're going to finish outside the podium, 4th is as good as anywhere for Kieran. Oliver Gibson 5th, Andy Dorman in 6th from Chris Blakey. Zach Hancock's is in 8th place. So Zach's done very well indeed with the 8th. Finds himself up in the top 10 once again. A driver who's getting stronger and stronger. Round by round, the trajectory of his results, like we said, Kieran Haynes, is going up all the time, which is good to see. And so Zach in 8th, Rich Hayden 9th from Paul Laramie, and then it was Sam Gumbley in 11th place, Josh Brennan running in 12th at the moment from Robert Shepherd, who ran strongly in the early stages. There is Robert, a good early stage run from him, but it's a long race to hold on to that. Jack Angel 14th and Jacob Lander in 15th place, and that concludes, I think, all of our runners and riders in that one, and we'll be back with a word with our top 3 in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back. What's the French for déjà vu? Because we're going to have a bit of that now. It's Andy Carroll who is in 3rd place. Well done, Andy. Another podium, another talk. Not as exciting as a winner's talk, but nonetheless a cracking drive coming through, right from the back in that one. So yeah, you must be very happy with that. That's my rubbish question out of the way.
Yeah, obviously very happy with that. Yeah, obviously had to be a bit patient. It's one of those races, you know. Jack, I think, was on pole, so that was kind of the 1st place tied up. So yeah, and obviously Gabe's always very efficient at getting through traffic in the early laps. So yeah, no, I was pleased to just be able to sort of pace my way, get through as many people as I could, as quickly as I could, and then yeah, somehow managed to end up in 3rd by the end of all that. So I'm guessing Oliver got a bit unlucky again, because I knew he was pretty close behind me at one point. But yeah, no, very, very pleased with another podium. Really, really chuffed.
I think that gets you pole, doesn't it?
Oh,
first and third, and Gabe was 2nd and 4th, so he should be pole position.
Okay.
So what's the tactic for the start?
The tactic, try and get away. Watch the BMWs come past me on the first lap, probably. And then, yeah, as I say, it's going to be, I guess Kieran's going to be there, Oliver's going to be there. So, yeah, this is going to be the toughest one of the bunch, I think. And, yeah, obviously it's going to be a shorter race, so the BMW tyres won't go off. So, yeah, this could... I'd be very surprised if you're talking to me again after this race, but... who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
I personally wouldn't bet against it.
We'll try and do whatever we can, and yeah, as I say, hopefully when the checkered flag drops, I'll be somewhere up near the front. Would be nice.
Fingers crossed. Well, hopefully we do get our third chat. That would be good. But well done, Andy. Super third place, mate. And we'll let you get a little bit of a breather before the sprint.
Thank you. Cheers.
Have a good one. Well done, Andy Carroll, third
Cheers.
place. Superb stuff. And Gabe Norse, fourth position, bundled out of the race one, or bundled out, or a little bit. Oh, it was a race, wasn't it? At the end of the day, between you and Oliver, and you've got to go for it, and that's what we wanted to see. And it ended up with P4, so a 4 and a 2. It's going to be front row of the grid for the final. That one you got through very quickly in the opening stages, and Lydia said it was like you were a bowling ball, but missing the pins.
Yeah, I mean the start was quite good. I managed to just make my way through quite efficiently, and then yeah, it was just hunting down Jack, and I think I closed about 4 seconds on him, and then towards the end I was just quite inconsistent while he stayed at his quite rapid pace.
Yeah, we still haven't quite seen the race-long battle between the pair of you, and it's got to be, you know, you've both got to be equal on the day and on the track, and sometimes that doesn't always happen, but it's going to be exciting when we do get to see it. But yeah, really good, strong races from you again. And how about how about Andy Carroll though? Because he's been really scoring strongly and been getting stronger with that McLaren as the series has gone on, hasn't he?
Yeah, Andy's definitely been proving that the McLaren isn't a bad car. So yeah, it's been quite interesting battling with him, because the BM is quite efficient in a straight line, but then the McLaren's quite good at the low speed corners. So it's quite interesting battling with him, because like in the first sector I can usually catch him, and then in the final sector he'll just get away from me.
One thing I've never really thought about in terms of sim racing is the starts. I mean, obviously we have standing starts for this. Is that something that you practice as well as doing it? I mean, everyone obviously does all the laps, but how often do you practice a start?
I mean, I usually do 1 or 2 in the week just to kind of keep myself consistent. But yeah, it's something that like kind of once you got nailed down, you know what to do, and it's just kind of the same process over and over again, which for me is quite good, because it means that.
Sorry, Gabe, I was just going to say, what sort of data do you look at when you're reviewing your start? Because you generally probably don't have anyone else to start against if you're practicing.
I usually just kind of look back at the replays just to see what everyone else is doing.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Thoughts on the final race? Obviously starting up near the front, so good points to be had again.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully me and Andy can have a decent race together. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see how far through Jack makes it on the opening few laps.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far down he is, but we'll get the grid in a moment. I'm just having a look to see if it's on screen. I can't see it, but I think we might get to. All things considered, should get to have a chat with you after race 3. So I'm going to say, well done on the podium. Great to have a catch up with you, Gabriel. Good luck for the last race.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Gabe Norse in second position. And our winner, we spoke to his brother earlier on with third place in race number 1. Welcome back, Jack Smith. What happened in race 1, Jack?
I just got wiped out, unfortunately, but yeah, it is what it is. I tried to come back and try to push too hard and then spun out again. So yeah, by that point it was like I was miles behind. So I think I was like something like 20 seconds behind the last place car. So it would have been a rough do, really. And I had damage from that wipeout as well, so I'd lost I don't know quite a bit of time, which is not ideal. So yeah, that's what happened in race 1. But yeah, it's entirely flipped on its head for race 2, which is nice.
I was going to say, yeah, very, very efficient start into the lead and away and down the road. Looked like you were managing the gap back to Gabe as well. He pulled up some of the early gap, but once there was sort of the clear air between you, you were both very evenly matched. And that's the fascinating thing to watch. If you're not battling, then we can look at the timing screen and see, you know, sort of two guys. And I think Gabe was saying he just maybe had the better of him on a few of the laps there towards the end.
Yeah, towards the start, I was just sort of managing really. I got one or two track cuts, and I was like, right, I'm gonna wind it down a little bit, and yeah, just took it a little bit easier, and I stayed at like the 4.0 pace. I think I could have had, you know, a couple more attempts in it and matched what Gabe was doing, but there was no real point because of the gap that I had. And then once Gabe had closed in, I think I'd saved my tyres a fair bit more than what he had, and yeah, towards the end I was just so much more consistent that I could just pump in those low fours, and then I think Gabe was just struggling towards the end there. So yeah, that's just how it works out really, and yeah, I was thankful I had that cushion in between us that I could manage it like that. So yeah,
that's good. And I haven't worked the points out yet. We'll see where you are on the grid in a minute, unless you've already seen.
Yeah, I think I'm 6th. Yeah, so
not too bad. I was thinking row 3, 4 maybe. That's not too bad. That's quite close up the front. I was asking Gabe about how you practice starts. Obviously, I don't know whether you have anyone that you do the practice starts with, but what do you kind of use to, you know, to gauge your starts? What sort of data? Is it just watching it, the feel of it, or is there any sort of tangible timing or anything else that you can use to coach yourself and indeed other people on starts?
Yeah, there's loads of stuff you can do. I just, you know, if I've got like spare time or whatever, I'll just go on random servers and just do race starts and stuff like that. So you know, as long as it's against real people and not bots, that's what you want to be racing against. So
yeah,
yeah. But sorry to burst your bubble with these cars. These cars have a launch control, so the actual start itself is it should be exactly the same between everyone. So yeah, but the actual start
it isn't though, is it?
Yeah, no, yeah. I think some people have mastered it and some people haven't yet, but yeah, it's pretty finicky. If you let off the brake just the tiniest amount, it will give you a jump start. So it's quite, you know, you got to be really pressing the brake pedal to make sure that you got the launch control set right. So yeah, no, it's very, very scary if you're on the brake and you wait for the lights to go out. So yeah,
that's good. You doing much coaching at the moment?
Yeah, I've had 1 or 2 sessions recently. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot more time coming up soon, so I'm gonna be working hard to get some more clients in, and you know, improving the grid, making everyone a bit faster, a bit more competitive. So yeah, if you're looking for some coaching, you can come my way. I've got one-to-one driver coaching available for anyone, whether you're a beginner or a pro. I can find something for you, no matter the track or the car.
Nice one. Thanks for that, Jack. Well done on the win. Good to see you on the top step of the podium again, and we look forward to you battling with everyone in race 3.
Children, thank you.
There we go. Thanks. Well done, Jack Smith, our race winner, joining Andy Carroll as race winner for the evening. Deciding race about to come up. Gabe North second in that one. Andy Carroll double podium. So Andy, the only driver in with a shout of making it a triple podium this evening, which is good. Are we going to see that, Lydia Walmsley? What do you reckon?
I don't know. I think that's a hard one to call, to be fair, because he's got some quick guys behind him now, hasn't he? I think some of the other drivers have had a bit of misfortune, haven't they? Or something's gone wrong. But I don't know. I have faith in Andy. I think he's quite quick. So yeah, we'll see. He's Mr. Consistent, isn't he? So perhaps we might see him on the podium again. We'll see. We
will indeed. Andy Dorman's done well. So Andy Dorman is 5th. Carroll top scorer from Norse, Kieran Haynes 3rd, Oliver Gibson 4th, then Andy Dorman, Jack Smith 6th with the win after a non-finish in the first one. Then Mason Turner, who's had a good evening, and Rich Hayden 8th from Zach Hancocks and Sam Gumbly, your top 10. And outside of that, we won't discount the likes of Chris Blakey, Jacob Lander, Josh Brennan, Robert Shepherd and Jack Angel, who could well wend their way up into the top 10, maybe even higher. Got some former VRRC race winners in that group as our final 15-minute race gets underway, and it's Andy Carroll who gets away well. Kieran Haynes just trying to slot through into 3rd place and get across. Gabe Norse is already going for the lead, and he's on the inside. He's got the inside run into turn 1. Andy Carroll going very wide, and it's Gabe Norse that's got the race lead in this one. And now Kieran Haynes goes through back into his customary P2 with Andy Carroll in 3rd place. Already up into 4th is Jack Smith, ahead of his brother Oliver Gibson in 5th. Andy Dorman loses just 1 place on the start, but he's still in a handy 6th place with Rich Hayden in 7th, and that was a great start.
It was. I think I feel a bit bad for Andy really, because it seems that it's almost detrimental to start on pole, doesn't it? Here, it's almost like you've got the run, and then you're on the outside essentially, aren't you? And then he did run a little bit wide and lost P2 as well. So, yeah, he's got a bit of work to do to keep that 100% podium rate. He's still in third position at the moment, but we've got Jack Smith up the inside of him there. So I think that's probably going to be a done and dusted move there for us.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I think it's done and dusted, isn't it? So. Yeah, it's a shame for Andy because it's not obviously the start that he would have wanted, but yeah, I think starting on pole, it does seem to be a bit of a challenge here, to be honest.
Well, he's going to still be in for some decent points here, Andy Carroll. He's at the moment still got his nose in front momentarily. No, Jack Smith manages to get it back as we watch Sam Gumbly up ahead of Robert Shepherd, who was in the top 10 but just had a little moment, a little bit of contact as well, and drops him down. Andy Carroll is not really doing Jack Smith any favours here by having the squabble with him. I think he'd like to get down the road and get stuck into Kieran Haynes and Gabe Norse out front, but he's not being allowed to do that. He's been, quite rightly, Andy Carroll sticking to his guns, and he wants to have a triple podium.
Yeah, there was me saying it was done and dusted. I think it's far from done and dusted. I mean, he's back up to P3. And yeah, you're right, Jack Smith. I mean, the longer that he battles with Andy, the longer P1 and P2 are driving away, aren't they? Which he can't really afford because they're all really quick drivers. So yeah, he really needs to get past Andy. But we've seen from the last couple of races, Andy is a hard guy to pass, isn't he? So yeah, he's not going to make it easy for sure. And he's also got Gibson behind him now as well. And we know Gibson's quite quick as well. So yeah, Jack Smith probably not having it all his own way as he would almost have expected. And Rich Hayden's just been in the back of, who was that he just ran in the back of and spun around? Andy Dorman. So yeah, didn't really see it, but I think there was a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, again, so plenty to sort out on Thursday morning, which is when the judicials will be handled. If you're watching this for the first time, we do take it very seriously. We have a real world clerk of the course. It's not just arbitrary decisions that are made. They're looked at by Ian Danaher, who looks after the Super Classic Formula Ford 1600 Championship. Very well respected clerk on the circuit. So, I know some of the drivers might think some of the decisions are unfair, but you do in the real world as well. So, it's kept as real as possible here, to be perfectly honest. And Andy Carroll doing a super job at the moment in third, but are we going to see the pace of the BMW come into play here? He's got the inside run and should get the position here. I thought he was maybe going to employ the help of his brother to do a bit of slipstreaming to build up some momentum on Andy Carroll. He didn't actually need that in the end and goes back into third place. So it's Norse, Haynes and Smith. Smith not that far down behind Kieran Haynes at the moment. And Kieran also not that far away from Gabe Norse. Fastest lap of the race, I was going to say we haven't had the first flying lap yet, but Gabe with a 2:04.193, obviously the fastest lap from the start. And we'll get a handle on the flying laps once they get sorted out. We'll take a moment to ride on board with Ollie Gibson in fifth position, who's now fancies that he needs to have a go again at Andy Carroll as he did in race one, wasn't it, where he managed to get past him. Mason Turner in sixth, running well. Andy Dorman's recovered for seventh. Rich Hayden eighth from Sam Gumbly and Zach Hancock's. And yeah, somewhere on the line, I've got absolutely no idea where we're going to go on driver of the round for this one, to be perfectly honest with you. It's been very, very tight. I mean, you could go with top point scorer, but that's just the guy that wins the round. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we start to look at drivers that are making their way up into the top 10 or top 15 for the first time and do that way, but we'll give it some thought. We've only got 10 minutes to make our minds up on driver of the round, but we'll come back to that. Could be, well, yeah, we'll come back to it rather than speculate on that for the moment. Watching Zach Hancock, who's trying to close down on Sam Gumbly. Those two guys have given us some good entertainment over the course of the evening so far. And, again, like the youngsters, getting more and more experience of VRRC and starting to ascend through the ranks. And it's lovely to see that steady progress. And I've got to say, it's probably more difficult than it was maybe a year, 18 months ago when we were running fully reverse grid races and you got more chance to start off the very front. But now you have to earn that right. You have to get into the top 15 of the race or the top 15 of the championship to get into that reverse section. So these guys are beginning to do that, and they'll start reaping the rewards of it. Not these guys we're looking at now. Oliver Gibson chasing Andy Carroll for 4th place. Jack Smith trying to close in on Kieran Haynes. And Gabe North's the start went exactly the way that he wanted to, including the first couple of corners, but also lap 2 with the best flying lap as well, 2 minutes 03.757. Not dissimilar, Lydia, to race 1. So again, very consistent.
And I think that's the key thing, isn't it? You've got to be consistent in things like this. Yes, obviously, people want results and things, but essentially you need to, in order to win the championship at the end, you just need consistency and to consistently finish as well, which unfortunately for Jack Smith, obviously he didn't finish the first race this evening. So yeah, you're already kind of on the back foot, aren't you? But he's not getting it all his own way. He's just had fastest lap, I believe, if I'm correct. Yeah, so just had fastest lap, but I think, you know, we've only got 8 minutes to go. Crucially, this is quite a short race, really, in reality, isn't it? We've only got sort of half distance of what we've had before, so there's not so much time to almost make that time up as such. So, yeah, not easy for him, I don't think. But they're actually quite spread out, aren't they? We've not really had this previously. We've obviously had, you know, a fair few gaps, but usually drivers are close to at least one other driver, and it is all a bit spread out, isn't it? Which is unusual for such a short race.
They are, yeah, they've sort of sorted themselves out. I'm guessing that's maybe a little bit characteristic of fastest off the front from the top scorers that we've had. Going to give a shout out to Reeve Taylor, who was messaging, I think, on the Discord channel as well. Reeve, looking forward to working with you again. I think Reeve was about to put 2 penneth in for driver of the round. We've had a couple of suggestions coming through, which are greatly appreciated, as Andy Dorman looks to try and continue his recovery up towards, well, remember he started in 5th place, and at the moment dicing with Mason Turner for 6th position. Let's see whether he can make his way through. Gabe North's 1.97 seconds clear of Kieran Haynes. Kieran very definitely due a win in this one. Maybe it will come at Fuji. Into our last 3 events. These series go so quickly, and Andy Dorman makes his way through. Andy was a winning driver in the Mini Championship, and based up near Croft. A lot of our drivers actually based up in the northeast of England. It was nice when the Mini Championship was at Croft, and a lot of the VRRC drivers came along and met Rhea and the team who run the Mini Championship, which again has been a blast to watch, both the Coopers and the JCWs this year. I've got to say, for me, the Coopers have probably had the edge of the 2 championships. Not that one is better than the other, but I think the results have been a little bit more intriguing, should we say, in the Coopers so far this season. And we've got a championship for them later on in the year. 2nd position now becomes an issue. So Kieran under pressure here from Jack Smith. And, you know, although this will be a drop round, Lydia, for Jack Smith, he's still, you know, I think not playing it safe, but trying to pick his moment is probably the right phrase to make a move for 2nd place.
Yeah, and he looks really strong, doesn't he? He seems to be catching Kieran there. So, yeah, they were a bit more spread out, I think, than what they are currently. So he is on a little bit of a charge, but he's still holding fastest lap as well, isn't he? And lapping actually faster than Kieran by quite some chunk, about 6/10 on the last lap. So, yeah, it's no surprise that gap is closing. But whether he can do anything about it, that's obviously another story.
Yeah, that is the issue, isn't it, at the moment? Whether he can make his way through. This is going to be interesting, because I was just thinking about it's going to be the first round of this series. We had 3 different winners if it stays the way that it is at the moment. So that's interesting. We've had our first non-BMW winner. First time we've had a non-BMW in the top, any of the top 2 steps of the podium over the course of it as well. We've had some new drivers up in the top 10, which has been magnificent to see. So 3 events left, 2 3-race ones, and then the single Le Mans event as well. Reeve looks like he's stopped typing, which is a shame, but I'm guessing Reeve is listening, which is good. And if he's got a suggestion, he's probably read in the chat who our suggestions have come for driver of the round. But where are we? We are 5 minutes to go, so 2/3 of the way through our final race of the evening, and probably 2.5 laps remaining. Gabe North from Kieran Haynes, Jack Smith in 3rd. We're back down with Rich Hayden in 8th. Rich hasn't had a bad evening, but he's had a little bit of bad luck from time to time, but he's worked hard in the Aston. Zach Hancock's a little bit distant from him, but again, huge improvement for Zach. Sam Gumbley is in 10th again, and as I say, we're starting to see the likes of Zach and Sam really sort of banging in regular top 10 finishes now, and that will be through a mixture of a little bit of fortune with some of the other drivers going off, but also very much their own efforts to get up towards that sharp end of the grid. And remember, as I said, it is difficult to get into the top 15. It's also difficult to get into P2, and that is what Jack Smith is trying to do at the moment, battling hard here with Kieran Haynes, who's got a good, wise head on his young shoulders, Kieran Haynes, and he will be looking firmly in his mirror and just working out what he can do to keep the multiple champion behind him here.
Yeah, and Jack's close now, isn't he? He's piling on the pressure. Kieran must be looking in the mirror thinking, gosh, he's reeled me in. But do you know what? Kieran's not actually defending at all, really, is he? I say that he has just gone defensive, but previously he wasn't really defensive, so he was obviously quite confident that he could keep Jack behind and had the pace. And even though he's gone defensive and Jack obviously had the wider line there and ultimately the better run through the corner, he hasn't managed to make it past. Although they are next to each other now down the long run, and I think it's a left-hander coming up, is it? So Jack Smith might have this now. But I don't reckon Kieran's going to give up the fight, is he?
No, he's not.
In fact, no, he hasn't. He hasn't. He's still up the inside, and he's still got the place. So fair play to him. Fair play to the man. He's doing a good job, because Jack is piling on the pressure. I mean, that can't be easy, can it?
No, this is exactly why, Kieran Haynes is doing all the right things on track here. He's doing the right things career-wise. He's doing a little bit of karting down there at Castle Combe. A great team down there helping mentor him and steer him in the right direction. But coming and racing here and doing this, what a great learning curve. Everything that he's doing is exactly right for someone his age at the moment. Probably spending enough money, I'm guessing, on karting. He's not doing British or national or European championships. That was Dave a few quid to go towards a car racing budget. Whatever he ends up car racing in the real world is going to be spectacular to watch for sure. Hopefully we'll see him maybe come up and have a go at minis or something like that. Coopers would be a great place to start. I know he wants to do single seaters, and probably single seaters. What can you do? Formula Ford definitely is probably going to be within budget. Formula V is another one. I don't get to see enough Formula V, which is a shame, but yeah, Formula Ford for sure would be a good way to go. And then obviously you've got that huge jump up to the likes of F4, GB4, GB3, if that's the single-seater route that you want to go. And I know Kieran desperately wants to do that, but it's just so difficult, as is defending from Jack Smith here. Andy Carroll beginning to close in as well, and at some point Andy Carroll is going to become an issue for Jack Smith as well, as we watch Mason Turner and Rich Hayden engaging in battle again with Andy Dorman. Andy's had a good recovery actually in this one. Might be a contender for driver of the round as well, Andy Dorman. Started 5th, dropped back, but has fought back well up into the top 6. Andy's always a gritty competitor, so he's one that we need to think about. Sam Gumbley's performed well. Zach Hancock's could be a driver of the round as well. So a few names bandied around as we ride back with looking back from Kieran Haynes. But here comes Jack Smith again as he teed up the inside here to make it through on the inside again. They're side by side, and it is going to be Jack Smith. And what a little bit of a knock, or a huge amount of a knock. Paul O'Neill would call me out for that one. That was a massive knock into the back. But again, it doesn't dislodge the car, which is important. But that battle, we've now got Andy Carroll in the mix and Oliver Gibson coming up to play as well.
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't write Andy Carroll off, because I think these two at front, Kieran and Jack Smith, I don't know, I just see it all coming to grief, and I see Andy Carroll coming through and just picking his moment and passing the both of them and ending up back on the podium. So yeah, it's a good battle, isn't it? I mean, it's nice and clean, and they're driving really well. They're both defending, and look how close Andy Carroll and Gibson are now. I personally think these two are going to come past. I really do. I think Carroll definitely on the podium. There you go. There we are. There it is. He's got the run. Has he got the inside though? Is he up far enough? I think he might be. I think that might be it there. Yeah.
Well called, Lydia. That's why we have you in the commentary box. That was very well spotted. And Andy Carroll goes.
15 seconds to go.
Yeah, we're on the last lap now. Is there contact going into turn 1? No, there isn't. Oliver Gibson would have wanted more out of that. Jack Smith now wants to get back into P2. Kieran Haynes is off the podium and will want the podium back. Jack Norse, though, is away and down and going through turns 7 and 8 ahead of this four-way squabble for the podium. It's going to be, did I say Jack Norse? Gabe Norse. I must get the footballer out of my head. It's because we've got a Jack in 3rd place. That's the big problem here. Jackson Gabe's all. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But it is Andy Carroll in P2 with that very timely manoeuvre. Jack Smith 3rd. Kieran Haynes in 4th, trying to get back onto the podium. He's got a little bit of a gap now between himself and the man in front. And maybe he's thinking there might be more pieces to pick up here if Jack Smith gets involved with Andy Carroll, and I know Jack got involved for that P2 battle, and they got in a pickle, and that allowed Andy Carroll to come through. But Jack doesn't normally cause any issues when he's in traffic, certainly contact-wise. But it's Gabe Norse well out front here. He looks around the outside, and let's see whether Jack Smith can do it. If he can hold on for the inside for the next corner, may well get second position back, but the McLaren's trying to hang on the outside and hugs the tarmac, Lydia. That was a good effort again from Andy Carroll. As I say, he's had two drivers of the round already. If he hadn't have done, I think we might have been giving it to him again, but I think we've probably got to look elsewhere for that. But cracking racing from the pair of them.
Yeah, Andy Carroll is on the defence of his life, isn't he? My gosh, he's only just clinging on, but he's only got a few corners to go. Well, one corner to go now. So, but Gabe Norse, I mean, look at the gap that he's got. He could probably stop out the car, run around, and get back in and still win. I mean, he's got quite a gap there, but Andy Carroll P2 and Jack Smith P3. I don't know that we did really see that coming, did we? But he timed it right last lap, and there he is P2. So that was quite a rate. That was quite a last few laps, really, wasn't it? It looked all very subdued, and then all of a sudden it kicked off, didn't it?
Absolutely superb, wasn't it? Here comes Zach Hancock's in 9th position. A very good meeting for Zach. I dare say that it's his best meeting he's had with us at VRRC, and he's going to finish in the top 10 once again. Great progress from Zach. In fact, it's 8th place across the line. Sam Gumbley in 9th. Jacob Lander in the top 10 as well. Well done, Jacob. Really good, strong stuff from him. And congratulations to Gabe Norse on them with 3 different winners this evening. Andy Carroll takes P2. I think with that, we'll take the points victory on the evening, possibly Andy Carroll. As we look at Jack Angel coming through as well, another driver who we're seeing some terrific progress from over the course of the series. Will be in 13th behind Chris Blake and Josh Brennan. Robert Shepherd will be the other finisher. Is Robert still going? Yeah, he's not in the pit. So Robert, there he is, again showing, you know, some really good signs of improvement over the course of the series as well, and really buoyed by that race where he was up with the top 4 for, you know, a good part of the opening sequence of the race. And I hope that he's enjoyed his race as much as we have enjoyed watching him this evening, and comes home for 12th position. So that is the end of our racing. If you're a driver and you can hear us, don't disappear, because we've got to pick our driver of the round, and we'll have our top 3 interviews and driver of the round in just a couple of minutes.
I've had a lot of challenges in my life, and Helen was always there, supporting me through everything. Today, we're facing a new challenge. Helen has been diagnosed with a terrible disease. Dementia is nothing less than a worldwide epidemic. Formula One moves fast. By contrast, medical research can be painfully slow. We want to bring some of our Formula One technology into the laboratories. Our charity, Race Against Dementia, will help to accelerate the pace of dementia research. Let's beat dementia together.
Yep, good evening. Sort of chipping away at it, trying my best to work my way through the field, make as few mistakes as I can. But yeah, just been chipping away at it, trying to work on the setup, trying to work on my pace, stay out of trouble. That's pretty much it.
How did you get involved with this? Because your name suddenly sort of popped up. I think, did you do the touring car one, or was you literally just come in for this one? I can't remember.
I did the mini challenge a year ago.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
And
how did...
I was going to join the mini challenge and do the season in the physical one. So,
right.
And then I was recommended over to do the virtual championship to get a bit of prep in, because there's obviously a lot of real world drivers in there. So yeah, I was going to do that, and then saw this one pop up, and you can't resist a GT3 battle, can you? Especially like this.
That's great. I'm really glad that you joined it, and it's nice for us to get the opportunity to acknowledge a driver that's racing with regular VRRC drivers that are banging in podiums all the time, and you've really made some great progress. And real world, thank you for letting me know the other week you were racing with the VRSCC Mazdas, which I haven't seen this year, but you're having a blast doing that.
Yeah, it's again sort of chipping away at it. There's some unbelievable drivers in the Mazda Championship. It's something that you really cut your teeth on for a first full season racing. Like, there's no better racing in the country than racing in a Mazda. So we're better to hone your craft and try and learn some lessons. Yeah, unbelievable championship, and doing this on a Tuesday night, nothing better to practice your starts, get your racecraft where it needs to be. Yeah, it's ultimately a really, really good thing, and it's something I'm really enjoying at the moment. And learning from some mega quick drivers in this championship, just chipping away at it. It's quite hard, but yeah.
And like
Nice
Mazda needs an E-Series.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? I think they've had a couple in the past, Rich. That was the voice of Rich Hayden coming in for those of you who maybe haven't hopefully got.
Yeah, well, there might be a conversation to be had. It's the Mazda Championship is a really good sort of breeding ground for future talent, and it's an accessible way to go racing, month in, month out, and you get to learn from some really fast people. And there's a lot of people, they go and race Ginettas onwards and upwards, and they still come back to racing Mazdas purely simply because the racing is so good. You can get a bit of paper between 5 cars at any one point in a Mazda race.
It is very close. Zach, who are you running? Are you running yourself, or are you with a group or a team?
I'm with a team this year. I'm also the guys in my awning. I'm running with Paul Sheard. The guys in our awning are the people that sponsor the championship, Ab Modular. Andy Gillingham. So yeah, we're chipping away. We've got some exciting things in the pipeline, which I'm talking to Rich about at the moment. So you never know, you may see a Mazda Championship pop up in the near future. Who knows? But it's a really, really good thing to be doing.
That's a mega job. Sheard, give my regards to Sheard. He's a super guy, Paul Sheard. Known him many, many years. A lovely fella.
At the ripe old age of 70, I don't know a man that works harder.
Is he 70 now? Goodness me, I suppose he must be. Yeah.
Well,
wow.
He took me out, and he's still got it. He's mega quick as well.
Always been a quick peddler, is Sheardy. Very good guy. Oh, that's great. Well done on winning our drive of the round, Zach. Nice to have some new blood coming up and doing that. And thanks for joining us in the championship and in the comms box. And good luck for the next round of the Mazdas. And we'll see you same time next week, virtually at Fuji.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Speak to you soon.
Well done, mate. Zach Hancock's our driver of the round. Let's move on to the podium now. And the third place driver on the podium, P2 for a while, a very short while. Jack Smith. Well done, Jack. Really big battle going on there. And, Andy's been on mega form. That was quite opportune, wasn't it, at the end?
Yeah, that's a word. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm not best pleased with it, to be honest. I don't really think that was racing. It was more me avoiding a crash, most of it. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my thoughts there on it, and we'll gloss over that part of the race. But yeah, I've messaged Kieran, just seeing what's going on, and yeah, I don't know what's happening there. But anyway, the rest of the race was good. We got through the pack, and Andy slipped through right at the end there, and I was trying to catch him. I just didn't have the grip and the temp and the tyres to keep on the back of him and maybe get a move on him. But yeah, it was a good race. I think Andy did well to get through all of that, as he always does. He's Mr. Strategic in the end of the day, and yeah, he's got through and nailed it in the McLaren for this one. I think that's 3 podiums for him, isn't it? Like a second, and a third.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was the
first
driver.
sorry.
Yeah. I mean, we hadn't had a non-BMW on the top 2 steps of the podium all series up to this point, and then so he's done that. Got the win, third different driver winning in the championship. But equally tonight, we've had 3 different winners, which again it's actually quite an unusual thing to point it out, because I think historically you do tend to get a lot of different winners in VRRC. Maybe less so now we're doing the fastest off the front thing a little bit more and not totally reversing the grids. And maybe that's a discussion for another day. But yeah, from the viewer's point of view, 3 different winners tonight. Obviously, your round was probably over with the DNF in race 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that was a shame. And again, I don't really know what happened there. We've got multiple sides of the story, so we'll see what happens in stewards. But yeah, it's a shame to have one of your races go like that, and right at the start of a race as well. It's a bit annoying. Yeah, tried to come back from it, and yeah, just didn't really have the pace in the end to get back to the front. So yeah, but good that we got a race win under our belts for this one. Another podium in the bag. Yeah, still got pace. I think we're very resilient in the Hopposaurus this season. We're still coming through, and yeah, we're chomping at the bit to get back to the front again. So yeah, no, I'm super happy with how Ollie's done as well. I know he's had a few incidents, but I mean, like, I reckon he should have won race one, to be honest, because he held off, you know, so many attacks from so many people. He got right to the front, and yeah, he had mega pace, and yeah, I think he deserves that win. It's coming at some point, I'm sure. But,
yeah, he will. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, big congrats to everyone who's made it to the podium for this one. It's yeah, it's been an exciting one, hasn't it?
It's
I can't wait to watch
different.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Nice one. Well, always good to catch up with you, Jack. Well done on third, and as I say, we'll keep an eye on the judicials and see what happens, sort of who, where, and what, and then we'll reconvene and maybe give a summary of that next week on Fuji.
Yes, yeah, no worries. I think I'm going to hop on and try and get the hop lap done.
You haven't got a football wrap like your brother did, have you? By the way,
No, unfortunately not. I don't know where he's put that. He didn't tell me about that, so yeah. I might have to slip in some song lyrics or something next time around. I have to prepare beforehand. Yeah, I just want to give a few quick shout-outs to everyone. Just a quick shout-out to Lee at the Hop Cabin. I know he's in the chat, I saw earlier. And my parents, and my girlfriend's watching as well. Everyone at DK Power who helps make the Hopposaurus possible on the grid for this championship. So yeah, big thank you to everyone there, and I'm going to give a shout out to the BUKC team as well, because we did the 24-hour not long ago, and yeah, we had a bit of a calamity there, but I think we had a really good result, and yeah, just super happy with the guys, and it's nice to see him again. So yeah, shout out to you guys. They're probably not watching, but yeah, shout out to them anyway.
very well done. That's good. Congratulations on that, and we'll see you same time on 7 days' time, Tuesday the whatever it is in July already. Where's the year going? Anyway, well done, Jack. Nice one. Good to catch up with you again. Cheers, mate.
Awesome. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Bye.
And P2, third chat of the evening. Podium bingo is complete. A first, a third, and now a second for Andy Carroll. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah. Got.
I told you were going to get a podium.
It wasn't looking like it until the last corner of the penultimate lap, but yeah, just sort of got passed by a couple of BMWs at the start, and then obviously Jack got me as well eventually. So, but yeah, once he got behind up Kieran held him up nicely. So yeah, those last couple of laps sort of caught them up pretty quickly, and then yeah, just managed to squeeze past as they made contact, and then it was just a question of trying to see if I could keep Jack behind me for that last lap, which yeah, wasn't easy, but thankfully managed to so the bit I was worried about was down the straight, whether he was going to be close enough to have a go into the braking zone, but yeah, after that I was fairly confident. So yeah, absolutely blown away by this week.
That's good. I think probably top point score. I think you may be the gold medalist for this.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
doesn't happen very often.
And then we don't give you driver of the round. So
yeah.
But I think I've been in the commentary. We probably would have done had you not won two before. And it's nice to get Zach Hancock's up there and acknowledge what some of the other drivers are doing in terms of their development, and so that was really good. But championship-wise, I mean, I was just looking at the points. So coming in, you were fifth, 96, so 13 points down on Ollie. But Ollie's had a decent evening as well, so it's just made it a little bit tighter, isn't it, for fourth and fifth in the championship? And that in turn is not far away from third, so there's still podium battles happening.
Yes, and yeah, it's been one of those things that comes down. Obviously, the last race is obviously going to be a critical one, and yeah, then drop scores and kind of might play a part. So yeah, it's going to be. I say it's really good that it's so close and competitive. Yeah, obviously it's probably between Jack and Gabe at the top, but you know, for third, fourth, fifth, it's wide open as well. So hopefully I can carry some of this pace onwards. Fuji's not a particular favourite track of mine, but maybe I can get some practice in and see if I can beat that one, and you know, get the car feeling nice around there, and yeah, so
get some more points.
Fingers crossed, get a strong second half of the season, and see if I can push Kieran and Oliver for that third place.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to that. Well done again on a great evening. Have a good week, mate. We'll catch up with you next week.
Cheers, Rich.
Thanks, Andy Carroll in P2, and our winner, second chat of the night. Very well done to Gabe Norse. Went to plan, didn't it, Gabe? Really, off the start and away.
Yeah, it was a good race. I was quite happy with that. I managed to just break away at the start, and then I saw that they were all battling behind me. So yeah, that was quite a nice race.
That's good. Any thoughts on? I was going to say actually, the question I meant to ask before was, have you done Circuit of the Americas before?
Only not for any like championships or anything,
Right.
just kind of for fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. And how about Fuji? What are your thoughts on next week?
Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy Fuji. The only round I've had round there before has gone pretty terribly, so hopefully it goes a bit better this time.
When does the prep start? Do you normally jump on straight away, or do you have a little bit of a breather?
It's really whenever I can be asked about doing any practice, to be honest.
Oh dear, that's quite funny. I guess there must be a point when you just feel, I do actually need to sit down and rejoin the real world for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this week's practice I did about 2 minutes the other night, and then most of this afternoon was practicing for it.
That's pretty good. Well, it paid off, and decent points again. So probably silver medal, I think, on the evening. And I think because we had the amendment to the points last time because it was double and then triple points, but I think that probably does see you back in the top of the points, and we'll see the unofficial points a little bit later on. Any thank yous or goodbyes before we head to our sign off?
Probably thank you to my parents. My mum and my sister have just gone on a 2-week trip to Japan and Korea, so they have a nice time.
And you've got to do the virtual one. You don't get to do it.
Yeah, virtually. And probably also my dad, because we went to Jeremy Clarkson's pub today, which was quite cool.
Great. Are you sort of that way, or were you just out for the day?
Kind of close to it. I mean, we're in the Cotswolds area, but not extremely close to it.
Very good. Was it worth a visit? Give us a plug?
Yeah, I think it was quite good. The food was really good there, so yeah, I can definitely recommend it.
Excellent. That sounds like a good day out. So, and what are your plans for? Are you watching the GP at the week? Are you going to Silverstone, or going to watch it on TV? Or
we're going up on the Saturday, not the Sunday though, because I mean it's a bit pricey.
That's a good shout, actually.
Yeah, I mean we're going to Madrid and Zandvoort this year instead, so that should be a bit of fun.
Nice one. Well, enjoy the real day, at the track on Saturday. Have a great time, and enjoy watching it on Sunday. And well done on this evening, Gabe. Congratulations, mate. Cracking stuff again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rich.
Well done, mate. That's an absolute pleasure. Gabe Norse, our Race 3 winner, and really good racing from him. Championship-wise, well, I thought he might have squeezed into the top, but it's Jack Smith at the top provisionally from Gabe. Still very, very close, as you can see. Kieran Haynes in third from Andy Carroll, who did actually manage to leapfrog Oliver Gibson this evening up into fourth. So Ollie fifth. Chris Blakey's strong in sixth place from Ollie Atkins. And then Andy Dorman eighth from Lee Piercy and Mason Turner. Missing a few drivers tonight. We'll find out where they were last week, and no doubt some of them will appear on the podium. Of course, the thing that we had in race number 1 was a wrap from Oliver Gibson. Next week, the wrap comes courtesy of the Fujis. And here is Fuji Speedway, which we're looking at now. That is where our next round is. So we're looking forward to that. But before that, Rich Hayden's got to have a word with you all.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. By the way, that was excellent rap from the Fujis. Absolutely excellent. Yes, our next championship starting 4th of August. So we're having a Porsche Motorsport Cup. A little bit different this time. We're doing multi-class, so we're going to run the GT3 Cup Car and also the GT4 Club Sport as well. So a little bit different. Some familiar and some not so familiar tracks that we're going to put in there as well. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Sign up is going to be available from the end of this week.
That'll be good. Really excited about the classes as well. So it gives us extra focus. Not that we need it, but it's just nice to. It's good, Rich, that you're always looking to shake things up and just keeping things varied for everyone that's with us, and you know, that keeps them interested and also brings a few new people in as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's been a while since we've done a Porsche Cup, so I thought it was about time we brought one back.
Have you got a front-wheel drive model for Mr. Bugner?
No, unfortunately not. He has been bending my ear, and he rightly so, because this is now what 4 rear-wheel drives on the trot we've done. So
yeah, just tell him to stick it in reverse.
Yeah, I've said that I'd try and see if I could change one of the Porsches to a front-wheel drive for him. But yeah, so after this, we will be doing. We will have a front-wheel drive championship in for him.
Okay, we look forward to that. Thanks for that, mate.
No worries.
There we go. Thank you to Lydia Walmsley. I hope you've enjoyed it, Lydia. We loved having you around, and hopefully we'll get you back again to do a bit of commentary again soon. So thank you. What are your thoughts on this evening?
Thanks for having me again, Richard. I think it was really good. I was pleasantly surprised, and I think, to be honest, when I heard that it was 3 different manufacturers of cars, I was wondering how it was going to go. But I thought it was really good racing, exciting, and yeah, you almost do forget that it isn't real world racing, isn't it? Which is really cool as well. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So thanks for having me.
So thank you very much for coming and joining us. We do appreciate it, and it works really well for me. And hopefully we can do it again soon, and we'll catch up. I haven't seen a lot of you this year, but we'll catch up. Not clear what you say your next one is, yeah?
Yes, yeah. See you in Bonnie, Scotland.
we'll be there. I won't try and do the voice, but
yeah, we'll leave that to Scott, shall we? We might offend them.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Lydia Walmsley. Also to Steve Allen, our broadcast director, and Ian Danaher in advance for all the work that he's got to put in sorting out all the contacts. Which we do get. It is sim racing, a lot of youngsters and a lot of new drivers and people enjoying themselves. So it is taken seriously and all gets looked at. And if there's anything major, we'll let you know next week. But from all of us here on the end of our 5th event of the season, thanks ever so much for watching, and join us for Virtual Japan next week, Fuji, our anti-penultimate round of this current series. Thanks for watching, take care, and bye for now.